Hello, everyone, and welcome to the
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ball State Esports Center. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I am one of your casters, Aiden, also known as Mnemonic.
I'm Robert, also known as Transfixed.
And we are here today to play a game against Akron in League of Legends.
You know, this is the Ball State rivalry, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the big rival school. I guess we are pretty competitive in League of Legends too. Yeah. Typically have a rivalry with like Rocket League or maybe Overwatch, but
How have the past few seasons gone against Akron?
you know, I'm not sure. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know.
Well, what happened last time we played
Well,
against
last
them?
year we got to the championship and Northeastern beat us.
Yeah.
So clear. I guess we beat Akron last year. That'd be my
Just
guess.
by proxy.
That'd be my guess. But we also beat Northeastern last night, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. This is our last stepping stone.
Maybe we're better.
Maybe. So tonight is the fight for first place in the what is the word? I'm blanking.
ESC.
In the ESC, yeah. Tonight's battle for first place. Akron currently holds the spot for first place because they have played one more game than us. But this will put us
This will
above them.
decide it.
Yeah, if we win this one,
Doesn't this decide seeding? for
this
the
decides
bracket?
seeding. So whoever wins will be first place. Whoever loses will get second place. And from there on, both teams are already guaranteed spots in semifinals. Both teams are already, if they're in semifinals, clearly they're already in the playoffs.
Yeah, the top percentage.
Yeah, but this is really just this is more for bragging rights, I'd say. You do
You
get a
think?
slightly better seed, but it's like, hey, I was number one coming into playoffs.
Maybe it means more for the rivalry than it does for the seeding.
Yeah, I mean, we really just want to win because it's Akron.
Yeah, we hit Akron.
Yeah, I don't know if we hate them.
I don't know, man. This is the first time I've been here. I want to get into it, you know?
Yeah, let's get aggressive. We're taking Akron down. That's the goal.
I'm used to Southern football, man. You go on social media and say this team, they suck, you know, stuff like that. You know, we were watching basketball last night, you know. You got to get into it.
Yeah. I guess you can. Yeah, we gotta
You
get
know,
into it.
All's fair in friendly banner.
But getting into it, let's show the rosters. First, we'll take a look at Ball State's roster. Oh, no.
That's Akron.
We can show Akron. It's fine. We can show whichever. We're going to just look at Akron's roster first. In the top lane, we have Trey Dog. In the jungle, we've got Llama Demon.
Mid-chicken.
Mid-chicken in the mid lane, yep. Clippers
And
in
Flippy Stick.
Clippers and Flippy Stick in the bot lane. Clippers would be the ADC, and Flippy Stick will be the support. And meanwhile, on the side of Ball State, we're looking at Inigo Montoya, also known as Silk Flannel. In the top lane, Boatlick in the jungle, Wombat Baby in the mid lane, Jumpslog as the ADC, and Quokka as the support. Our standard 5, our tried and true undefeated 5-person starting lineup. We do have one loss, but not with these 5.
Yeah, it wasn't this team.
No, we had
three
to
subs.
We had to make 3 subs against University of Buffalo. Not salty about that at all.
Yeah, I sense a little bit of lying in there.
Just maybe a little.
Not just a smidgen.
But yeah, those are our lineups going into this evening's match.
Yeah.
Now, let's just go ahead and get our predictions out there. What are we expecting?
Honestly, I know you were saying before stream that you want 2 matches. I want a good competitive 3 matches.
You know,
I
it's
want
always
some
nice.
good League of Legends.
It's
today.
always nice to go game 3, but I think Northeastern was. I think Northeastern was the biggest challenge. I'm not sure Akron is quite at that level. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I hope they do, honestly. But I don't know if Akron's up there, and I think Ball State gets an easy 2-0.
Yeah? Okay, what about time? What do you think about time?
Okay, so we were asked our time predictions before the game. I said 27 minutes in the first game and 24 in the second game.
Okay, I said 25 game 1, said 30 game 2, and then the game 3, 27.
I didn't give a game 3 because I'm confident.
I am too, but, you know, I said if there is. I said if there is. You know, I said if there is.
Okay.
The word if is what I'm stressing here. It'd be 27 minutes.
So we've talked about standings. We can also show you a quick just overview of all the standings going on in the league. You see Ball State and Akron currently tied for number 1 spot. Kent State in second. Northeastern I think they're staying in third after their loss last night. I don't think their spot moves much. And yeah, that's I think his top 6 goes into the finals, so you're going to be looking around that Miami, Ohio, Western Michigan games. If any of those are going on, it seems like they're fighting for those 6th place spots. So yeah,
I can't add too much.
Yeah, those are the 6 spots.
I'm excited to see how this develops. This is my first time, being alongside the team going through a bracket like this.
I mean,
a
same here.
Season like this.
Same here. This is my first League of Legends season I've casted. I'm excited to get into this postseason.
Yeah.
See some.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I want to see some high stakes games. The players are sweating a little more because they know if they lose, they're out. Their season's over.
I think Ball State has a really good chance here of clutching it out.
I agree. So, before we get into game, I guess we should give a bit of an overview of what League of Legends is for viewers.
Of course.
So, League of Legends is it's considered a MOBA. That's the type of genre it is. It is a 5v5 game where players pick between 160 different champions. There's like 170 now.
I think it's 170, yeah.
Yeah, 170 different champions, and they all have various abilities. They fill various roles. We mentioned the roles already. The roles that each of these 5 members take are a top laner. They play in the top side of the map. A mid laner plays in the mid lane. And then there's 2 bot laners. There's an ADC, which stands for attack damage carry, and a support who supports that attack damage carry. And as the name implies, that attack damage carry's job is to deal a bunch of damage. Then there's also a 5th kind of different role called the jungler. And the jungler travels between the lanes. They don't live in one lane, and they kind of help out the team. They're gonna help with damage, might just have some utility abilities where they can like stun the enemy, things like that. They're helping the team. They're a big support. Now, what is the goal that these teams are trying to acquire? If you look on your screen right now, there is a tower. Those towers are in their way of getting to the enemy base. They need to knock down those towers, get into the enemy base, and destroy their nexus. Once they blow up the nexus, the game is over. They have won. Now, how do they do that? How do they make it easier? In general, you're really trying to get gold. There's lots of different things that get you gold in the game. There's objectives, which one of them is spawning on your screen right now. These are the void grubs, and they help you do more damage to towers when you take them. They also give you some gold. When you get kills, you get gold. When you kill these little minions that are in the lanes, you get some gold. And you use that gold to buy items that make your character stronger. And one thing I always like to point out, if you don't know who's winning, you're not really being able to follow, easiest indicator of if you just want to see who's winning, look at the gold graph that will be at the top of your screen. Whoever has the higher gold is most likely winning. There's occasions where that's not the case, but we'll tell you that if it is. But in general, whoever has more gold is probably winning the game at the moment. And yeah, I think that's pretty much a rundown of League.
Without the intricate aspects.
Yeah, there's so much more to the game. We'll talk about a lot of it. We'll try to explain as much as we can, but it is a very, very complicated game that takes a while to learn. So don't be shocked whenever you don't really understand what's going on if you've never played this game. So I can mention some more objectives. This is the Herald on your screen right now. Whenever a team claims the Herald, you have to kill it first, and a team can claim it. You can then charge the Herald into a tower and deal about half of its health. So it's very useful to get a quick tower for your team. There's also dragons on the map that give you like passive bonuses. They'll maybe give you more damage or more move speed. There's different kinds of dragons. And once you get 4 dragons on a team, you get some kind of big buff. There's, I think, 6 different kinds in the game. So we'll mention it when it comes up, what this specific dragon does in the game, but I'm not going to go in depth on what each one is. And this is the Baron on your screen right now. That's the biggest objective on the map. It only spawns at 20 minutes into the game. And when you kill that, you get a huge buff that not only gives your team more damage, but also makes the minions that you're standing next to have a lot more health and do more damage themselves. So it helps you push into an enemy base and end the game. And that is pretty much League of Legends. There's, as I said, the characters all fill different roles. ADCs, there's multiple different ADC characters, and they're typically a ranged character that's doing AD damage. AD is attack damage. And then there's mid laners in this current update for the game. Typically, you'll see a AP mage. So AP is ability power. That's like magic basically in this game. So if you see someone casting spells and throwing stuff, they're probably doing AP damage. If you see someone hitting with a sword or shooting a bow, they're probably doing AD damage. And that damage can be blocked by armor or magic resist. So armor blocks AD damage, magic resist blocks AP damage, and you buy items that have those stats.
And then the third type of damage is true damage, which some characters have on their kits. So if you see someone like Gwen being picked for yesterday, there was a Gwen.
Yeah.
If you see someone like that, they have true damage in their kit, which cannot be blocked by armor or MR. But
yeah.
It can be reduced by certain abilities, but that's not something you should worry about until we point it out to you.
Yeah, we'll mention it if there's any true damage going on. True damage is really annoying, so it's useful to point out because you can't really build items against it. You can build more health to try to take more true damage, I guess, but you can't build defenses against it really.
Yeah, it's annoying when it gets out of proportion. There's a lot of ratios in the game that people definitely complain about, with Camille Q2 being one of them.
Yeah. True damage is kind of crazy in this game sometimes.
Usually if there's true damage in a character's kit, their entire kit is built around it.
Yeah.
So like Vayne, for instance, or Camille, Q is your primary damage dealer on Camille. With Gwen, Q is your primary damage outside of your ultimate.
Oh yeah, I should mention that. We'll mention the letters Q, W, E, and R a lot. Those are the keyboard keys that champions' abilities are typically assigned to. So if we say her Q ability, it's the ability that's on her Q button, and the R is the most important one. R is a champion's ultimate. So if we say someone used their R, that's a big ability. We'll try to say ultimate, but sometimes we've played the game a long time. We're used to saying QWER.
We're very happy with our acronyms.
Yeah, there's a lot of acronyms. We'll probably say some things that we forget to explain, but we'll try our best.
Now, one last important thing, we're getting too jargony, most likely. Summoner spells. Each champion can take 2 summoner spells when they're coming into the Summoner's Rift. You're going to see almost everyone, depending on the character they play, take Flash, which allows the champion to teleport, or flash, let's just use Flash.
Yeah, they
flash a short distance. They can go over terrain, they can dodge spells, things like that. So if like an enemy casts their ultimate and someone needs to dodge it, they will flash it if they have to.
Yeah, and we'll also be talking about teleport quite a bit. Teleport is exactly what it sounds like. It lets someone teleport somewhere on the map, and it's very, it's a very important summoner spell in this game because team members can be pushing up. Let's say they're pushing up top lane, but there's a fight happening on the other side of the map. They can teleport into that fight and join it really quickly. It's a super useful summoner spell, so we'll probably talk about it quite a bit.
It can teleport at the beginning of the game, only allows you to go to towers. But after a few minutes, it evolves into Unleashed Teleport, which allows you to teleport to minions, wards, or towers. And at that same time, it gives you a movement speed bonus whenever you do teleport.
Yeah, and we mentioned just wards just now. We're getting into a lot of stuff. There's a lot of info.
This is the most we've ever done.
Yeah, this might be. Wards, whenever you put a ward down, or every character has wards, and when you put that down, it gives you permanent, or not permanent, but it gives you vision where you place it for a set amount of time until it disappears or someone destroys that ward. But it's to give you vision around the map because you can't see everywhere all the time.
It's especially used against junglers because junglers like to gank. Ganking in League of Legends is when a jungler enters a lane with the objective to either kill the enemy laner or help push the wave out, helps recover the lane in a way. Like if somebody's behind, the jungler can appear and level that lane out when it comes to the lead in deficit.
Yep. And
the last thing, what would you like to add?
Last thing, I think we should cut it off. I think we're dumping too much info.
There's runes. I mean,
that's pretty in depth. Every character does come into the game with specific runes that they selected, and those give them various buffs. There's a lot to go over there. We might mention them at some point in the game if it's really an important one that affected the play, but we're not going to go over it right now. That's a little too much info to dump on everyone right now.
You know what's funny, Ed?
What?
We're giving more information than the League of Legends tutorial.
Yeah. That's why it takes so long to learn.
Yeah, there is definitely a learning curve with this game, so if you don't get it right now, that's fine.
Yeah, it takes a bit.
Entirely understandable.
But most important thing, this is our last regular season game of the season.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to watch it and watch
fun.
Ball State go almost undefeated.
Almost, unfortunately. That was out of their control, though.
Yeah, it was out of their control that they couldn't play, but
it happens.
We will be going into games soon. Before every game starts, there is a draft. So they don't just pick their 5 characters and go into the game. there is a banning phase and a pick phase where they pick one character, or they ban, each team bans 3. They pick, one team picks one character, another team picks 2, another picks 2, another ban phase. It's a whole thing. But we'll talk a lot about that because draft, a lot of games can be made or break, or
Make or break the game.
Make or break the game. The draft can make or break what happens. If you have a better draft than the other team, it makes the game a lot easier.
The important aspect about draft is the side of the map really determines how you are able to play draft. So if you're blue side, you get that first pick. If you're red side, you get to respond. But with blue side, it's important getting that first pick because you can pressure the enemy into playing something you want them to play. That is especially true whenever considering, I use especially a lot, when considering bans. Banning a champion means you outright cannot play them that round. Both teams cannot play them. So that really decides how things shape out in the draft phase. And a lot of the time, especially if you hear us say something like it, the draft can really determine how the game is going to play.
Yeah, and we'll likely have, we have our predictions now, but after the draft's over, we'll probably have predictions of who's going to win the game because it doesn't always decide the game, but you can typically get a pretty good tell of how the game's going to go just based off draft.
Certain champions have easier times laning or jungling into other champions, and if, let's say, one lane gets counterpicked, there is a high chance that they're not going to be able to really play the game for a long time. Yeah,
and lots of characters in the game so they counter each other. Some characters counter some more than others. Some characters don't really have any counters, so they're like pretty safe early picks when you don't know what you're trying to counter pick against. So there's a lot of knowledge that goes into draft, lots of planning. I'd say a huge chunk of time of every team's practice is just learning how to correctly draft and ban. And that's going to be a huge part of the game that hopefully we are getting to soon.
Well, there's winning a lane, losing a lane. And then we have something where we say they handshake, which just means they farm for 14 minutes.
Yeah, so generally at the start of the game, the main focus for players is to farm these minions that are coming because that's how you get gold. When you kill a minion, you get some gold and you get some XP to level up your character. But sometimes, if a character hard counters another one, there might be a lot more fighting. Or if they don't really counter each other, they know they can't really kill each other in lane. They're just going to sit there and farm, or maybe try to leave their lane and go help another one. Lots of strategy to this game.
Yeah, each champion has a different playstyle, The depth of League of Legends is not just in understanding these champions. You have to understand what you're supposed to do, what your role is, and how you're going to interact with your team, and especially their positioning.
Yeah, and now let's get past the education portion of the stream. Let's just talk about what champions do we think we're going to see today?
I want to see a Kalista again, to be honest.
I was going to say the same exact thing.
I think that was a highlight of last night was that Kalista.
Yeah, I would like to see Kalista. Very, very aggressive champion. Probably one of the few aggressive early game ADCs in the game. Most attack damage carries in the bot lane. They're pretty weak early game, but they scale really, really strong. So late game, they're doing the most damage in the game, bar none. ADCs are supposed to do the most damage.
Yeah.
But Kalista is different. Kalista does a ton of damage early game.
Level 1.
Can be hyper aggressive straight from the beginning. And it's a lot more fun to watch than most ADCs, I'd say.
Yeah. Most ADCs are known for, sitting in their lane, farming until they get 2 items, hitting their power spike. So champions like Jinx, you don't really see them doing too much without their items, without those team fights. Team fights don't normally happen for the first 10, 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Because, laners need time to level up, hit their ultimate levels, which is 6. Getting their items, things like that. And especially with AD carry, you need your items to be outputting a massive amount of damage.
Yeah. So we've talked about ADC. We want to see Kalista.
Yeah. What about support? What do you want to see from support?
Well, if we have a Kalista, I'd like to see a big beefy tank as a support, so Kalista can throw him in. I expect to see Nautilus if Nautilus makes it through ban.
I want a Kalista Renata.
That would be fun. That'd be fun. It'd be cool to see a poke bot lane, Kalista Renata, maybe even I saw them hovering Kalista Ashe yesterday. I don't know if that's actually good.
It's okay.
But I'd like to maybe get some damage in there. But honestly, there's so many supports they can play, and our support player can play every single support.
He's amazing.
So it could be anything. We might see a Camille Kalista. Who knows?
Yeah, that could happen. What do you expect from the jungle?
From the jungle, I want to see some. I mean, I was going to say more fun picks, but we saw Nidalee last night. Nidalee's always fun.
That's always fun.
I'm fine with the Nidalee. Personally, I like to see some Viego. I always love seeing Viego, especially high-level players playing it. I don't know. It really depends. If they draft the Callista, I'd probably like to see a tankier jungler.
Yeah.
Personally, or a crowd control jungler.
Well, we know Maokai is going to get banned.
Yeah, we're not going to see it. Maybe like a Sejuani.
That'd be cool.
Or a Poppy. I'd love to see a Poppy, but Poppy keeps getting banned.
In the top lane, I want that Fiora to come out.
Yeah, just
let it go.
You know, we said don't let him pick Fiora yesterday.
And it worked.
But I'd love if you let him pick Fiora, because it's just a free win.
Yeah, it's just a free win at that point.
Our top player is crazy at Fiora.
You know, I think, Inigo Montoya can really play anything.
Yeah, I wonder why he swapped to that name.
It's fine.
We're going to be calling him Silk Flannel the whole time in the top lane.
But with mid, I don't know.
I mean, probably Talia or Ahri is my guess.
Wombat Bippy can really play a lot.
He can play quite a bit. I mean, probably Karma, Talia,
we'll probably
or
see
Ahri.
Ahri or Talia or, Talia. I'm not used to that.
Or
Karma.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it Talia?
I think it's Talia.
I'm not sure what.
That's how I've pronounced it.
I don't know.
I don't think it matters.
No.
It comes up to the same thing.
We could also see an Orianna.
Yeah, I'd be happy with Orianna. I don't
But
think we'll see a Syndra again.
No, I don't think we will see a Syndra. I think that was a comfort pick for Northeastern last night.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Syndra is quite up there on the list of champions that Ball State wants to pick.
Do you think we'll see a Nico?
No.
No,
I don't think we'll see a Nico.
Come on. I love Nico.
I mean, we could. It'd be fun to see a Nico support specifically.
Yeah, you don't want to see a Nico mid lane?
Not really. I don't like Nico mid. It's boring.
She's stronger there, though, arguably.
Yeah, it's more fun to support, though, to see Nico try to just mind game the two bot laners.
It usually works.
Yeah, I experienced it last night. Nico can turn into anything that's her passive. She can turn into a minion, turn into a ward. And it's scary when Nico turns into a minion and walks with the other minions. You have
no way of knowing.
You have to physically count the minions and be like, wait, is there one extra? So it'd be pretty fun to see one. I don't think we will.
You don't?
Not personally.
Well, hopefully we get in a draft soon.
Yeah, we're stalling a little bit at this point.
Yeah, we're trying. But League of Legends, that's the depth. Is all of the aspects we've mentioned. And then the higher up you go, there's these things called ranks. So if you ever play ranked, you have iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, emerald, diamond, master, grandmaster, and challenger. And with teams like these, typically the teams are made up of diamond master, grandmaster players. So that's why whenever you see us commentating over league games like this, there's always a lot of action. There's always a lot of thinking, in depth, or in-depth thinking, critical thinking. Let's put it that way. There's a lot going on, so if you get lost sometimes, that's fine. You know? But we're here to really help you understand the game and guide you and learn really how to watch it.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be screaming at some fun plays too.
Yeah, especially these team fights.
Well, we do have I'd say special guest, though this is our technically final game of the season, so why don't we just get all three casters in here? Just hop in.
You might have to
make this a bit of a tri-cast, a little more exciting to have all three people here. Here we go. We do have Rory. Would you like to introduce yourself as a caster?
We gotta get set up.
Oh, yep, turn it on.
All right, mic check, mic check.
Yep, we're here.
All right,
we can hear you.
Reading loud and clear. Excellent, excellent. Hello, hello. It is I, Rory, aka Artom, here. At long last, we did have a bit of a delay, but the gang's all back. It is here for the final broadcast.
And so just in time for draft.
Just in time for draft. Better late than never. So here we go. And we are getting that pipe band out straight away, along with the Belveth band.
Is that Llama Demon's, pocket pick?
It must be.
I would absolutely assume so.
Belveth's also kind of insane right now, so it's not a bad band.
Varus, Smolder.
Varus and Smolder banned almost every game.
There's the Fiora.
Not giving the free win.
That is just not allowed for Silk Flannel at all. Now coming in, I was about to say I would not be shocked to see either Karma or Maokai being banned out from the side of Ball State, and Maokai's gonna be taken out of the game immediately. But yep, you do leave that Karma open, so that will be a first pick.
You know, I don't think we've had a game all season where Maokai hasn't been banned by Ball State.
Yep, there it is, the Senna. Senna was left open.
I mean, I'm not surprised. That champion's been super strong for basically every single patch. But yep, here we have that Senna being locked in as well for Ball State. Could just secure the Senna Kench bot lane right here if you wanted. Or Senna, really anything.
I'm looking for Tom Kench.
I would expect to see a Tom Kench here. Ball State being we're debating a bit, but you know now we're getting.
So we explained what ADC is supposed to be. Senna Tom Kench is completely different. Not at all what we said.
No.
Senna looks like an ADC and plays like an ADC, but she is the support. Tom Kench is a tank that typically plays top lane. He's playing ADC. It's a weird strategy that is extraordinarily strong. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised they let it go through.
Gragas.
The Gragas lock-in is interesting. I mean, that's an evergreen champion. You know, you can never truly go wrong in drafting a Gragas, so I don't see much wrong with this. We are seeing a Blitzcrank covered, and the Blitzcrank's actually going to be locked in. Senna especially traditionally struggles quite a bit into these heavy engage supports like Blitzcrank, right? Once you can get a good angle on Senna, I mean, she has the lowest base health in the game, I believe. But Tom Kench running a lot of peels, so I think it's going to be a bit of just a kind of a positioning check there for Ball State. Ari being locked in immediately for Ball State, no surprise there. Wombat Baby's most, if not one of the most iconic champs he's known for. Who are we banning here if you're Ball State?
Let's see, we need ADC, and the thing is, Gragas could be a top laner or a jungler.
I think we might see, like, I don't know if they'll pull it out, but something like a Kalista ban, Tristana, Lucian, something like that can really profit off of the Blitzcrank and his hooks. But Gragas is such a strong flex pick. You can really play him top, mid, jungle, support if you're daring.
And they're banning the Kai'Sa. They do not want to give any tough matchups for this Senna over here.
I like the Kai'Sa ban quite a bit. I think it's pretty safe, and like you said, you're just looking for ADCs that want to match that Blitzcrank's aggression. So if I'm okay,
Lee Sin, okay.
Lee Sin.
Sure.
All right.
I think you would like ban Gwen.
Yeah, that's. I was thinking of maybe getting some more top lane champions outside of the out of the pool, but I don't think Lee Sin's a bad ban. Bolik especially is known for doing really well on it. Ball State here, honestly, just go for another ADC. Just pick, like, ban out, maybe not Kalista. I don't know if she's played often in the ESC, but ban out just like a Lucian or something that can really take advantage of the Blitzcrank. But I think Xin Zhao is also a pretty solid ban, so I'm not going to fault them there. It looks like they are planning on that Gragas being played in the top lane.
And I'm thinking they're doing Italy ban right here. I think they're trying to target these jungle bans.
Vi.
Okay, Vi.
So it makes a lot of sense because they need that ADC to have, you know, the ADC to be gone. They have a Karma. It really makes it hard to reach that AD carry. You have a Blitzcrank, which makes it also harder to reach that AD carry.
And we're locking the Aatrox. I wonder if he is thinking
Renekton?
Not locking yet.
Renekton, Aatrox? You're flipping between the two.
Yeah, flip-flopping. I think I would like Aatrox on this team a bit more than Renekton, personally.
I agree. I'm wondering if that's intended to counter Gragas, or if he just thinks it's a pretty safe pick into whatever he might go up against.
I don't think it's intentionally to, or necessarily to match the Gragas. You can't really necessarily kill a Gragas in lane. There's too much sustain. With an Aatrox, you scale really well once you get your items, and you can also put out so much pressure in a team fight that it makes it hard for this Karma and this Blitzcrank to really worry about either, you know, killing the AD carrier or the mid laner. You just run at them and you start dealing damage, and they have to focus you or focus the rest of your team. And if they focus the rest of your team, you blow them up.
And that Zeri will be locked in. So that's a Zeri Karma bot lane. You're going to be or maybe not a Zeri Karma. Sorry, I saw the Karma. I was immediately thinking Karma. That's a Zeri Blitzcrank bot lane. I really like this bot lane here.
Oh, they're a little AP heavy if they lock this.
I'm not sure you want to lock in Lilia. Okay, they're quite AP heavy,
and
actually.
Even Zeri does like a decent bit of AP. So if they just build Magic Resist, I feel like that's pretty easy. Like this Aatrox is just going to build a Canic Ruker.
No, I think the person I'm looking to build a Canic Ruker is that Tom Kench. Yeah, that Tom Kench is literally never going to die once he hits 2 items.
Yeah. So
Do you think
last
we might
pick,
see,
looking for jungle.
Do you think we might see the new MR Bomby Cinder
A
item?
Nocturne. I don't think I have seen Boatlick play a Nocturne yet.
I like the synergies here with Nocturne, to be honest, because you do have a lot of knock-up options for Nocturne to immediately ult into, even in the mid and top lane, right? You got Aatrox Qs, you got Ahri Charm, and then, of course, just the ton of lockdown that Tahm Kench and Senna bring. So I think Nocturne synergizes really well with what Ball State's got going here. I don't know. The opposing draft is just...
There's way too much AP.
Yeah, there's just a lot of magic damage. I do like Zeri in this comp. I think there's a lot of peel for her there with the Gragas, with the Karma. It just feels like Lilia is kind of the odd one out for me in this draft, especially.
What would fix it for you? What champion?
I think probably take the Gragas out.
No, I meant like switching the jungler if Lilia's the odd one out.
Oh, if Lilia?
Yeah,
They need some AD.
Something like Graves.
Yeah, I was thinking Graves. You do get a bit of a frontline problem, but at least you have a more mixed damage, and I mean, that would make most of your cast pretty mobile. You would all have some sort of dash or disengage, and with the shielding and peel from Blitzcrank and Karma, I feel like that draft would overall be pretty good.
So I think Viego would probably be the best pick here. Personally, I think Graves would have a really tough time dealing with Ball State's lineup, but still, I mean, it's not happening. They just need some AD. Either would be better than Lilia, I think.
Yeah, Akron's comp really here is really good at getting one kill. in particular, you know, you have the Blitzcrank hook and the Karma W. There's not a lot that they can do to get away from that.
But will they be able to get the kill when everyone has a magic resist item?
That's the question.
Yeah, for sure that Tahm Kench is absolutely going to be going Kanik, Recurrent, and Hollow Radiance is the bomb he's in. Yeah, okay,
Radiance.
Yep, I had to think about that for a second. So you are going to be going Hollow Radiance. There is Tahm Kench, and he's just never going to die.
And honestly, I'd like to see Aatrox go Sundered Sky, maybe like a Steric second or something,
The
and
Bruiser
then
Aatrox.
just go Kanik Rukern.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think it would be a terrible idea for Aatrox and Nocturne even to just sort of pick up one or two Bruiser items and then just start building MR tank items as well.
And then once they do that, their only job is to kill Zeri, and then fights are over. No one can deal damage anymore.
It'll be interesting. We'll have to see how Ball State itemizes in particular against this. I'm curious to see how Akron wants to sort of play out these team fights, especially because it feels like Ball State has a much more traditional, here's our front line, here's our back line type of deal, whereas Akron, I don't hate their draft, but they're going to be moving in and out of fights a lot. You're going to be using the mobility from that Lilia and that Karma and that Zeri to kind of go in, then go back out, then go back in again, while using Gragas and Blitzcrank as your peel tools, which feels just a bit more risky in terms of sort of, as opposed to just like a more standard front to back composition. But I don't hate it. I do like Ball State's draft just a bit better because I think the Nocturne synergy is going to be a problem for Akron, but I honestly think both these teams have a pretty solid early to mid game game plan that they're looking to execute.
I honestly expect to see this Nocturne play bot side heavily. You can't really gank into a Gragas. You know, he can E away, W for the damage reduction. With the Karma, she can E herself with that extra move speed.
Yeah.
I do expect to see this Nocturne either exerting pressure in the jungle early levels or, you know, running straight to that bot side. You know, getting that lead on someone like Senna it matters so much.
Yeah, once Senna gets a couple items, she can really start to run away with the game, and she can just build so much. You know, the current meta build is Opportunity into Ghost Blade and then picking up some crit items, but she can just itemize full crit if she wants to, or just go full lethality if she wants to as well. There's a lot of just viable build paths you have as the Senna there.
It's either just like Opportunity, Yomu's first item that they swap sometimes.
And here we are in
an
game.
Umbral Glaive.
Umbral Glaive as well, especially an organized play, is going to be really, really solid. And yes, here we are in game. Ball State versus Akron. I like both drafts. Both these teams are pretty good. Just have to see how it all pans out. And I'm kind of no fancy invade shenanigans here. Both teams just going to guard the entrances to their jungles. Just play it slow.
Yeah, I do expect to see this Nocturne start with either red buff or Raptors here. Most likely, I don't know actually. What does Nocturne clear?
He really just wants to do a full clear. He wants to get 6 as quickly as possible. But so he does have a quick clear. He could be doing Raptors down to Wolves, then to Gromp, and then you clear back upwards. And what that does is once your second camp spawn and you do your second sequence, you'll be right at Grubs, hit level 5, and able to take Grubs immediately. And it's a clear that only quick jungle clears can do, and Nocturne is one of those.
Ball State bot lane does get to lane first and is going to have that advantage, especially against Blitzcrank. I feel like that's really important, and yeah, just going to be getting out that early poke on the Clippers right away. Already establishing that early game dominance that Senna is known for.
Okay, I do think Nocturne's doing the clear I was thinking of, but I think I misspoke about what it is exactly. He's going to clear up and then down, probably.
Senna getting those souls, these early trades, allowing her to do that infinite scale, you know?
Yeah, Senna scaling is pretty spooky ball. Ball State bot lane going to hit level 2 first because they were in lane far earlier than Akron. And both these teams, again, just kind of playing it slow. You're looking for these more mid-game power spikes. You're not going to be trying anything super fancy level 1, level 2. You can see Silk Flannel just trying to poke with Aatrox Q, just trying to get the CS and experience when he can. I'm not expecting to see a ton of action until the Void Grubs come up, which won't be for quite some time.
But I will say, I feel like the onus is on Akron to try to get an early lead, because I think once Ball State starts getting items, Akron just kind of loses the game.
Yeah.
Once Ball State gets those Canic Rukerns, those Spirit Visages, they're just going to have too much resistances for Akron to really do any damage to them.
Yeah, you are, but again, it just becomes a problem of champion kits, you know? It's especially for this bot lane, Zeri really isn't going to be able to do much until she starts getting some levels, starts getting access to her mobility. But overall, once again, just a very, very slow game. You can see Wombat Baby just getting some vision in the river. They've spotted out Akron's jungler, so they do know where that Lilia is. And again, just keeping things nice and slow.
Yep, there's not going to be any early scuttle crab fights. Both junglers pathed opposite each other. Just going to be a relaxing game.
See a gank coming out from the Nocturne, coming into that bot side. They have no vision on him. They do not know he is there. That Senna Q able to slow. Tom Kinch going in.
And the ghost is going to be popped.
It's both flashes.
Well. That's both flashes. Excuse me, I called it as ghost. The hook is going to come back in return. We are having a slight spectator bug, so I can't quite call out what's happening. But the Blitzcrank hook was cast back in return, and it wasn't able to hit anybody, it looks like. You do burn both those summoners from Akron's bot lane, however. You've gotten the flash and the ghost down on the Zeri, meaning she only has her E to disengage, and Blitz is down flash as well, having only the Hex flash to really make any engage happen. I'd say that's pretty solidly worth from the side of Ball State. Off screen, first blood for Nocturne.
Senna flashes in.
And yeah, Senna is going to flash in here, is going to get ignited. There is, again, once a spectator bug, but it looks like Quokka will finally go down. Chumpslog is taken quite low. Boo has taken down Flippy Stick in return. Is just trying to get out, using that Tom Kench shielding to stay alive, maybe get a kill back, but Clippers is just gunning Tom Kench down, and Llama Demon will take down Chumpslog.
And it appears off screen. Wait, when did Karma get a kill?
Karma off screen, Boatlick got a kill, and then Mid Chicken killed Nocturne back as a return.
Okay, got it.
Overall, I'd say
I think that's Akron sided.
Yeah, that is Akron sided. But if you look at the gold, it's a pretty even so far. It's about a 200 gold lead there for the side of Akron. It's definitely not the end of the world here for Ball State.
Yep, 200's nothing.
Things have slowed down dramatically once again. There is a lot of prio down bot side for that Dragon, but in the meantime, on the top side, Ball State looks to be making a move for Grubs. I think Boatlick is coming through the river. Boatlick is definitely coming through the river now. This means that Silk Flannel is going to be going in here, is going to flash, is going to kill the Aatrox, is going to dash. Gragas is going to dash away. Spell Shield does not quite block the barrel. Does Boatlick get the kill? He does not. There's no Q, nothing.
What?
Trey Dog!
I guess he wanted to back faster. I don't know.
You gotta respect the Nocturne Q. Oh no, that is Void Grubs for Ball State. Unless Lilia comes up to contest, and Llama Demon appears to want to do so.
Hey, dying there and respawning is faster than just backing. Yeah, I don't really know what's happened there. He probably should have expected the Nocturne to throw a Q.
But they actually, Ball State going to come out on the losing end in this scenario. The TP being used from Trey Dog means that the rest of the Void Grubs are actually going to be picked up by Akron. Silk Flannel is simply too low HP to come and rotate to help out with this objective. And Wombat Baby has his own mid lane to worry about as well.
And once again, as I said, those Void Grubs give bonus damage to towers, so they're very useful to take. And you get a bit of a bonus buff if you get 5 of them. I'll mention that if it happens. Because 3 more will spawn in a few minutes.
Ball State does have a gold lead here despite losing those Void Grubs. And they are probably going to be looking to make a play for this Dragon. You can see the bot lane playing way more aggressively. But Coca, perhaps playing a bit too aggressively, is going to get queued by that Blitzcrank. He's using the Senate E to try and escape, but the Ignite and Clippers autoing will take Coca down. And now once again, Chumslog is in a 1v3 scenario and is just going to have to survive as Tom Kench is forced to disengage. And again, there's just not a lot that Ball State can do here. They want to pry out for this Dragon, but they jumped the gun just a bit and are punished because of it. And Akron is immediately going to be rotating to that Dragon, especially now that Wombat Baby has gone down. I don't know. I keep talking about, you know, it's looking even. It's not the end of the world, but I feel like these last 2 plays have really been Akron-sided. And I mean, you can only have so many kind of, oh well, we'll scale eventually type moments. But it looks like Ball State is going to get a kill for their troubles. Flippy Stick will get taken down by Quokka there. And Ball State will not be able to quite secure that Infernal Dragon. But the rest of Akron will. Overall, I don't know.
I think that big freeze was because we were trying to fix the freezing problem.
Oh, here comes the Nocturne R, going to be jumping on to that Lilia, and all right. Why not? Go ahead, Boatlick. Just going to pick up a quick kill there, pick up the jungle camp as well. And this really feels like the theme of the game so far. It's just been very back and forth. One team takes an objective, then another team will trade it back almost immediately. It is very even in kills, 5v5. Ball State having a slight gold lead. However, they are down in objectives, it should be noted.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think this is the first time all season that we have seen Ball State's bot lane on the back foot in the laning phase of the game.
Yeah, I'm really used to seeing Ball State take a much more commanding lead in that early game. But, I mean, honestly, if you're going even as Senna Kench, that's kind of still a win because Senna's scaling is infinite, so you're going to be getting infinite value just by existing and not dying. And here comes the engage from Chumslog, the re-engage from Flippy Stick. Chumslog taken quite low, is going to try and shield themselves out of it. Just going to be backing up a bit as well. You saw in the top lane that Silk Flannel was bullying Trey Dog quite low as well. No objective is up, but kills would be a great way to help snowball the lead in lane.
Ball State's going to have to turtle onto this tower. I don't think they're in any... Oh, they were during the freeze. The Blitzcrank hit a hook onto Tom Kench, and they were able to finish it off. Ball State's bot lane is struggling this game, and this Zeri being Akron's only form of attack damage is really good for them to get her ahead.
Yeah, 3-0 already. You do have that static Shiv as well at just under 10 minutes as your first item being completed. Zeri is kind of starting to snowball, and that's a really scary proposition for Ball State. If Zeri is that Giga-Fed member of Akron, then you kind of have to dedicate a lot of resources to shutting her down, and when she has so much peel and mobility available, it is going to be just difficult to do so.
Yeah, but this perfectly demonstrates the strength of someone like Blitzcrank.
Oh, hits a charm.
You know, he's able to get these hooks, make it to where, you know, a Ball State member just cannot walk away, especially with this E knockup.
Yeah, the Blitzcrank pick is actually performing quite well, to be honest, and I think Boatlick's a bit out of position here. The Q is not going to land, and the Nocturne ultimate is going to be cast. The charm does land, and there's that synergy we talked about, as that will likely be a kill for Ball State. That is a kill for Ball State. Bolik on a killing spree is going to get taken down in response to shutdown for the Lilia. Mid chicken is super, super low. Quoko wants his kill. He's going to flash for it. The W goes wide, but the auto attack does not. But Flippy Stick is here with the re-engage, as is Trey Dog. Can Quokka get out? You do got that shutdown on the Karma. You just need to get out alive, and Quokka will do so. Lands a W on Trey Dog. Oh, but not quite. Trey Dog going to throw out the Gragas ultimate and is going to secure the kill. And Ball State cannot quite manage to find a trade back in kind. It is 9 to 7 kills. Akron favored, but once again, that gold difference is just barely in Akron's favor. Such an even game, as TP from mid chicken is going to be used to catch that mid wave.
And, you know, I think I was sold Akron short in the or talking in the before this game. Akron is clearly doing much better than I expected, keeping even with Ball State, when typically we see Ball State already sitting at like a 2,000-3,000 gold lead at this point in the game.
Ball State has secured the Void Grubs, and I honestly agree. Ball State, we're used to seeing them having some kind of commandery lead, at least in one of these lanes, but both of these teams really just seem to be kind of going even almost constantly, as we see Boatlick is going to ditch that last Void Grub for a quick trip to the top lane. That's a shutdown for Silk Flannel, as the rest of the Ball State will be going to get that last little Void Grub there.
So both teams having 3 Void Grubs, so that just gives them a little extra damage when they hit towers. That's all they really do.
Yeah, normally if you do manage to stack it to 5 Void Grubs, you will spawn little grubs of your own when you're attacking these towers. But for now, it's just going to be a generic damage passive against towers for the whole game for both teams. Trey Dog is going to burn that TP to come back topside to try and fix that wave state. Meanwhile, we have Ball State looking to reset here as this dragon comes up in 6 seconds.
Yeah, and we see everyone. Nocturne is able to get his items on the map, is hitting first item. It looks like Lilia also. I think just about everyone's hitting their first item right about now. The supports won't, because supports have far less gold than most than other roles in the game. But they're hitting their first items. You're going to start seeing bigger damage numbers now, and it looks like Ball State's going to choose to not fight for Dragon. They don't think they have the priority in the lanes to get to it. So they're just going to give Dragon over to Akron. And Akron's sitting at 2 dragons. It's not a huge deal, but once they get a 3rd dragon, then they're only 1 off of getting Dragon's Soul, which is a massive buff. And
yeah. Hold that thought, as Trey Dog is going to go for the engage, but the re-engage coming in here from the Aatrox. Aatrox ultimate is going to be popped. The World Ender is currently active, as Nocturne ult has been dropped as well, but Bolik is nowhere near really anybody.
Yeah, it looks like he was looking to ult the Blitzcrank in mid, but Blitzcrank just immediately turned around and stepped under tower.
But as you were saying, it does. Ball State did make the correct decision there, I think, in deciding to give up that 2nd dragon. Again, you just don't have the priority, but it still just doesn't feel good, because now your opponent has 2 dragons, and if they get that 3rd one, they are going to be sitting on that soul point and will very easily be able to just exert a lot of map pressure in the process.
On a technical side, stuttering should be fixed. So
Your mic just came back on. I didn't hear that first part.
Oh, okay, my bad. The stuttering should have been fixed. It appears that it is still going on.
A bit of a Riot Games moment. We are working with it.
Yeah, it'll definitely, if not fixed this game, it'll definitely be fixed before game 2.
And, ooh, look at that Karma damage. Off screen, Llama Demon will take down Chumslug in that bot lane. Wanda Baby actually getting poked down really bad from mid chicken here. Once Karma gets that Malignance, those RQs tend to hit like a truck, but we can see that Bolik kind of sneaking this objective up top, and Silk Flannel rotating down to join him. We'll be getting this Rift Herald, but off screen, the first turret's actually going to go down. So the bot lane here for Akron is really running away with the game. Ball State is going to need to find a tool to shut them down here. And getting the Rift Herald is nice, but you can't just let the bot lane completely take over Summoner's Rift here. Herald at 15 minutes, 8 seconds. How you doing, Shelly?
Peeking around the corner.
Yeah, I do think that Ball State has the tools to deal with this Zeri, no matter how fed she gets. We really just need just one good Nocturne ult, one good Tom Kench knockup away from being able to easily kill this Zeri in a fight.
it's really going to come down to these mid-game team fights. Who's got the better peel? Who's got better positioning, better engage? So far, Ball State's been playing things very, very safe. They are a bit behind in kills, but gold-wise, it's been very back and forth between these two teams. Just kind of waiting for that really big fight in the mid game. You know that we're approaching that a lot. We're approaching that spot. A lot of people are hitting their first item, second item and a half or so power spikes. That big fight is coming, and I think once these objectives get a bit closer to spawning, we're going to be seeing a lot more aggressive play coming out from Ball State here. Both teams making their way down to the river, looking to establish some vision control.
I do not think Ball State wants to give up this dragon. They're going to be fighting for vision around this bot jungle so that once dragon does spawn, they have some priority, some vision, and they know where the enemy is in order to try to take that dragon.
Yeah, keeping vision control is going to be super, super important here in managing to secure that objective, because a Blitzcrank hook coming at you from the fog of war is not something you want to deal with. So Ball State is just going to be keeping this bot side jungle, that dragon pit, lit up like a Christmas tree. And, oh yeah, I was too busy talking about vision control. Yeah, just gonna steal the Raptor camp very casually, as you do. Ball State might actually want to engage here. I believe, yeah, the Nocturne ultimate is available.
And I would like to point out that despite being down in kills, Ball State is now up in gold again, just from farming better. From, I guess they haven't taken towers. I actually, where does this gold come from? Is it purely from farming?
Yeah. There's nothing else that Ball State, that they've taken a couple Void Grubs, but yeah, they haven't managed to secure a tower yet. They've just been farming better.
So this is one of those rare occasions where, yes, Ball State has more gold. It's only 200 though. I wouldn't say they're in the lead by any means.
Boatlook is fishing for this Nocturne ultimate. They know that Boatlook's there. Boatlook knows that they know. They're just trying to bait out this Nocturne engage, but it looks like Akron's not having it, and neither is Ball State. They're just going to go and get that scuttle crab, but Ball State has so much vision control over this dragon. It's spawning in 10 seconds, and there's Akron's gonna have to make a move here soon, but Ball State just has so much pressure, so much control over this river. That's gonna be really difficult. That Blitzcrank is going to need to land an incredible hook here, but Ball State, again, has had the place warded. And here comes a Nocturne ult. That's a big shutdown onto the Lilia there, looking for the double kill. Mid-chicken will go down as the rest of Ball State looking to clean up this entire Akron team. The Senna ult will not find anybody. Rift Herald will be summoned. The re-engage coming in from the Gragas as the Zeri is just autoing,
flash from Silk
flash Q from Silk Flannel will be
Blitzcrank
a massive
hitting
shutdown.
that Aatrox, pulling him into tower. Almost dead.
And a very close fight, but strong, solid victory from Ball State right there.
Yeah, Ball State had an incredible team fight from there. A nice flash Q from Silk Flannel. The charm at Nocturne Ultimate was exactly what Ball State needed to get the things started, to just press the gas pedal. And now that Ball State has taken a very definitive lead with this fight and with this objective, I'm really expecting them to start putting pedal to the metal, to start really upping the tempo of things, because this is exactly the lead that they were looking for.
And Wombat Baby showing why he is the Ahri GOAT. Hitting 2, he ults into their face and hits a charm. He hit 2 during that fight, pretty much guaranteeing them the fight. If you miss those charms, I think the fight goes a very different direction.
Something I was scared of watching that fight being initiated was that Nocturne actually had Lilia mark on him when he ulted in. So I was scared that Lilia was going to pop, you know, her ultimate, which makes people go to sleep and they take more damage.
I think he just killed her way too quickly.
Yeah. Ball State really picked the one player they needed to there. That Zeri cannot stop them from getting this OBJ. There's not a lot of burst damage on the side of Akron to contest any smite.
Oh, but Akron really wants this fight, and they are the Blitzcrank hook is not going to connect, as that Senna E will keep Tom Kench safe. And we did have the Nocturne ultimate. It was cast defensively to make Akron think maybe twice about jumping in there.
Rory, what actually happened there was the Blitzcrank hook hit Senna, and Tom Kench ulted as soon as it hit her, preventing her from getting pulled in.
Yeah, It was a very quick reaction from Chumslog to
Oh,
make
wow,
sure
I
that the
didn't-
Senna did not get pulled in right there.
Well played. That totally escaped my notice. Oh my. All right.
But the one thing that we really were worried about happening to Akron is the damage inconsistency. And we see that really working in Ball State's favor with this Tom Kinch being able to just run at them. The only person that can really do anything to him is the Zeri. And if you put so much pressure onto one member of the team, there's not a lot that you can really manage when it comes to leniency.
And
Yeah.
you guys might know better than me. Is that first Tom Kinch item, does that have magic resist on it?
Oh,
Yeah,
it does.
Tom
It's a-
Kench currently. Oh my goodness,
Well-
Llama Demon is just not allowed to exist in that jungle.
That is Hollow Radiance. It's a Bomby Cinder magic resist item.
Okay, so yeah, Tom Kinch already building his second magic resist item, kind of third if you count the boots. Tom Kinch is going to be real tanky against everyone other than this Zeri.
Chumslog already has 150 magic resist at about 20 minutes. There is not
Karma
a lot.
teleport coming in. This team fight is being initiated. Nocturne ults onto the Zeri. 2 flashes immediately getting blown. Senna's dead.
Okay,
Aatrox
Zeri's dead.
killed the Zeri.
That's just Ball State's fight. I don't think they can do much once the Zeri dies.
Yeah, but the Senna did die in response. Mid Chicken is taking quite low as the rest of Ball State is looking to engage. Bowlick is caught out here all alone while Wombat Baby takes down Mid Chicken. But Ball State is now looking for the re-engage. That World Ender has just ended for Aatrox. Just a very low looking Blitzcrank. This might be a Baron angle, but it does look a bit risky. You are down a really significant source of DPS for Ball State, and it looks like Ball State's just looking to reset here, go back to the lanes, and keep farming. They at least have vision control of that jungle and did win a pretty solid fight off of that.
And Ball State taking a commanding around 3,500 gold lead. Quite a big gold lead, and by far the biggest we've seen of the game.
Absolutely. Again, Ball State just needed that one good team fight, and now they are in an incredibly hard to just disengage from position, I guess, from the side of Akron. It's going to be difficult to do a ton of damage here. As you can see, Ball State is getting magic resist, they're getting spell shields. That is 2 really big magic resist items on that Tom Kench, the Spirit Visage, and the Hollow Radiance.
I was about to say, I do expect to see these Edge of Nights, these Banshee Veils, coming out onto almost every member of Ball State.
Yeah,
Yep. Every member of Ball State starting to build their magic resist items. Even Nocturne looks like he's building something right there.
I would assume it would be Maw, or if you're Nocturne, or maybe if you're feeling creative, I guess you could go Wit's End. Nocturne Ultimate is going to
That
be
charm
properly
hitting the
engaged
Zeri.
here, and that is an incredible charm. That's an incredible Senna Ultimate. Clippers just immediately goes down. Ball State absolutely knows who the #1 target is in every single team fight. And I think that Blitzcrank Hook must have popped a spell shield. I believe it was Wombat Babies because I saw it connect, but it didn't actually grab
I couldn't
anybody.
tell. It was either Wombat Babies or
I think it might have been
or
Nocturne.
it could have been Boatlicks also, but they both have a spell shield from their items.
This
Nocturne
is
has 2 spell
basically
shields.
a guaranteed Baron.
Yeah.
Ball State's not Ball State. Akron's only source of AD damage is dead, and for a while at that. Ball State can definitely just rush this Baron, use it to translate into map pressure. Getting that tier 1 top side and that tier 1 bot side would be a great source of gold and income for Ball State.
Yeah, Ball State. It looks like Akron is going to try and contest this Baron, and they are going to be
3-person
engaged.
knockup.
Oh, that is a massive knockup from the side of Ball State.
She does steal
But
Baron!
The Baron is stolen! Oh no, Ball State. Everything is going completely wrong. They need to try and get some kills here to reset that Baron buff as quick as possible. Wombat Baby is on a killing spree, is looking to get the triple kill on the mid chicken as well, but we do have the Zeri getting out. Trey Dog off screen will get taken down by Chumslog. Charm does not quite land, but we do have Silk Flannel securing that kill onto the mid laner. Oh no. The Baron buff is only alive on Zeri, but that is just tragic for
The one
Ball
person
State.
you don't want it on.
Still a very good fight for Ball State. They are further pushing their lead with that. However, they could have maybe even looked to like try to end the game with that Baron. Akron luckily stealing that. They're going to be able to stall it out a little while longer and maybe find a room to take this game back.
Ball State, they are going to use that one fight to secure this dragon, so they are going to be denying that soul point to Akron as a turret for Akron does go down, and Mountain Drink will be secured here for the side of Ball State as they are looking to just reset and come back onto the map with all the gold they just got.
That charm on Zeri was clip-worthy, honestly.
That-
I would put that in my personal highlight reel.
That was incredible. Wombat Baby has one job, and it is to jump on this Zeri and try and charm her, and he's doing it exceptionally well. Another Akron turret will go down. Ball State currently up 3 turrets to Akron's 1.
Yep, Akron got that early turret in the bot lane, and since then have not really been able to make anything happen on the map other than stealing Baron, which, you know, typically I'd be like, wow, they're coming back from that, but I don't know. I just think the comp differences are a little too big. I don't think they're going to get much off of that Baron.
Yeah, that is sort of the problem, right? You do steal the Baron, but Ball State just killed everybody and essentially reset the Baron buff. I mean, you do have that Zeri who's got it, and that shouldn't be ignored. But when you only have one member, and it's the one that Ball State is looking to jump on first in every single team fight, as the one person with your Baron buff, things become a bit dicey for the side of Akron, especially in the side lanes. Yeah, Akron can't really use that Baron buff to push. As you can see, Ball State just running to wherever the Zeri is and just clearing out the way of that Blitzcrank hook. A bit adventurous, will go a bit wide. You do have that Nocturne ultimate available, and we can see Boatlick kind of hovering in the river. Might be looking for an engage.
And you know, Akron's trying to get something done with this Baron buff, but it's just nothing's happening. All Ball State has to do is catch this wave and not just give a tower for free, and then the Baron buff was pretty much useless for him.
We're doing a really good job of keeping tabs on this Blitzcrank as well. A lot of these hooks have gone just very, very wide.
Could get one right here.
Yeah, it looks like Ball State's just going to turtle up and try and wait out this Baron buff. Although, yep, there goes the mid tower, so there is just simply no minion away for Ball State to help clear that mid tower. So you at least get something for your troubles with the Baron buff. But Ball State is looking to kind of make a bit of a pincher movement happen here. You can see the flank coming in, and the Nocturne ult has been casted, and the Charm will be cast as well. The Zeri ult has been casted. The TP is coming in from Silk Funnel in the back line. No kills have been had yet, but both teams are getting very, very low. Boatlick is taken extremely low by Clippers there, but we do have the Aatrox is just going to be killing everybody, getting that double kill. We saw the Senna ult as well. Wombat Baby on a rampage as the rest of Akron is just trying to get out. Trey Dog is going to be in the back line, just slugging it out against a Chump Slog that does not take any damage against magic users. Trey Dog is going to use that Gragas mobility to at least get out, but that was very much a Ball State fight.
Chumpslog really trying to prevent this Gragas from backing and trying to stop these waves from pushing in. But looks like the Gragas got away.
Perhaps not. That is going to be the tower going down. That's a lot of damage on that Aatrox, but the Q goes wide, the W goes wide. Oh!
I love seeing this just massive man be the most agile character in the game. Just moves around so quickly, dodging everything. It's so funny.
I was going to talk about the Q and the W going quite wide there.
we need not embarrass Silk Flannel.
that was it happens.
Hand that man Fiora, he'll prove himself.
Very true, very true. He's proving himself right now. He has 7 kills and 0 deaths.
Yeah,
that is true.
He's having a very good game. I think we can give him a little slack.
Speaking of, Ball State has taken an extremely commanding lead here. They are up so many kills. They're up a huge amount of gold. And this dragon is coming up in just under a minute. And it looks like Ball State, once again, is going to be trying to get some vision control of this river for this dragon. And they will be sitting on the Mountain Soul point after that. And Tom Kench with the Mountain Soul is a terrifying prospect. He is already so tanky.
Now, we are going well past both of our predictions for game time this game. And I think it's going to continue going for a bit.
Well, Tom Kench is going to get caught out, but off screen, or just at the top of your screen, rather, Flippy Stick is going to be charmed, stunned, autoed, just unable to do anything, and will get gunned down. And here's the strength of Tom Kench, as Chumpslog got caught by what felt like Akron's entire team, and was just able to tank all of it. Is going to be using that TP to come back for this dragon fight. And here comes the engage. The Nocturne Aura has been cast, but that is a drowsy looking Senna. Coca is going to be saved by the Tom Kench ultimate as the engage is coming in. Llama Demon will be taken down, as well as Clippers. Boatlick is going absolutely crazy on the Nocturne right now, picking up that double kill. And the kill will come back onto Quokka, but the ace secured by Chumpslog will allow Ball State to take this dragon no problem.
Now, something funny that I saw happen in that fight, as Senna was ulting, the Senna ultimate was going to miss most of Akron's team. It was only going to shield her own team. Somebody knocked Senna back to the side so that the ult hit everyone on Akron.
I believe that was most likely Game, or not Game, Gragas.
Yeah, it must. I think
no.
Gragas is the only one with a knockback like that.
I don't think it was the Blitzcrank, but no.
I don't think so. I think it was Gragas. That's a bit of an oopsie. I don't know if it actually had a huge outcome in the fight, but good fight for Ball State, pushing this just absolutely massive lead. 11,000 gold lead. Kind of insurmountable at this point.
It was Tom Kemps that actually rerouted the R,
Oh, really?
apparently.
Yeah, using.
So does the Senna ult still go off even if Tom Kinch ults her? I think the Tom Kinch may have ulted her to pull her into it.
I think once the initial animation is completed, it's going to cast from where Senna's position is. So if Tom Kench does or after the the initial cast is completed, it should just reposition to where she's been pulled to.
That's some crazy quick thinking from
Yeah, that's
Chumslog
I
there.
don't know how intentional that was, because Quokka was taken very, very low, so I think that's the main reason.
But it
Akron
hit
forcing
everyone.
the Baron out right now. Then if they killed that Senna, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, but this is a Baron angle here coming from the side of Akron. They are just trying to do it.
I don't think Ball State's going to contest.
Ball State might want to contest. I think a Baron is absolutely the best. Yeah, all right. That is kind of big, actually, for the side of Akron. You get the objective bounty and you get the Baron buff, and you don't really lose much out of that. I mean, you just kill the Senna, get the Baron. That's a really strong play from the side of Akron.
And you know, I'm kind of disappointed to not see any Canic Rukerns in this game.
You never know.
It's just such an insane item. It's funny to build against people because they just get shocked when they just stop dealing damage anymore.
Yeah, I do think Spirit Vistage does have that nice synergy with the Senna Q, though, so I can see why you build it. Oh, and the engage here, the Zonya's Hourglass is immediately going to be dropped, and why not add the World Ender just for some style points? Trey Dog is going to be forced to flash and E away as the rest of Akron is going to come down to this bot side tower. There's a lot of ultimates committed by Ball State, but that is a nice kill that they are going to pick up, and they just are exerting a lot of pressure on this bot side tower now. And even with the Baron buff, I don't know if there's a lot that Akron can really do in response to what Ball State is trying to set up here.
Yeah, my guess is Ball State's going to push as much as they can, but they really want this fourth dragon. It's kind of just going to secure a free win. It is a Mountain Drake. It'll give them quite a large shield on their health bars, and that's pretty big whenever they're already not taking much damage.
Tom Kinch buying a Frozen Heart to negate part of the Zeri's damage. Zeri right now does not have any armor pin.
Yeah, this Zeri has gone for a full crit build with, yeah, there's no Lord Doms. Just a bit surprising because you do have a nice chunk of HP on that Nocturne. You obviously have a ton of HP and armor on this on this Tom Kench. I really feel like you'd be getting a ton of value out of Lord Doms here, and I do realize that, you know, Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster are useful in keeping Zeri alive longer. You still want to be doing some actual damage.
You are the only source of AD.
Yeah, that Frozen Heart is going to just make Jumpslog even more unkillable.
Then on top of what you were saying, there's also an Aatrox who is currently working on his third health item. That Lord Dominix would be very good against them.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure why you build it. I do get that you're kind of worried about getting jumped on and just want tools to keep you alive. But I feel like you just, at some point, you just got to trust your team's going to peel for you and just go for the Lord Doms.
I think if you get caught, you're going to die regardless of if you have some lifesteal or not.
Speaking of getting caught, Chumpslog is going to be forced to flash out there. Just looking to regroup there with the side of the Senna. This could be a bit risky. Lava Demon is over that wall. Might try for a sleep play. He is going to be found out, however. It looks like the rest of Ball State is going to be slowly rotating, making their way over there. Quokka kind of playing with fire just a bit, but is not going to reset. All right, Ball State really playing aggressively for shoving this mid lane forward. They want to keep vision control of this bot side jungle in particular for this dragon that is coming up.
Yeah, Ball State really needs to play around this Drake. Even that Soul, that gives them so much team fight value, especially considering the fact that Zeri does not have Lord Doms right now. Did buy a Potion of Wrath, which gives AD and lifesteal, But outside of that, there's not really a way for them to combat this Tom Kinch or combat this Nocturne just
Oh,
right in their face.
that is a massive blitzcrank. Coco is immediately going to flash back over the wall. But
Coco didn't get that flash off to be bad. Nocturne coming in with his ultimate.
Nocturne does have the ultimate, and that's going to be a pretty big engagement. Poco's going to get jumped on in the back line.
World
He's going to
Ender.
be saved there by the time catch. World Ender has been popped. That is a very low-looking Nocturne.
I think Silk Flannel is going to clean this up.
Silk Flannel absolutely is going to clean this up. I don't think anybody on Ball State has died yet. As I say that is a shutdown coming onto the Nocturne. And this is a massive re-engage from Silk Flannel. Very well played. And it is 2 for 1. It is a bit more worth for Akron because you do get that shutdown, but Ball State does manage to get a lot of map pressure off of this. They are going to be taking that inhibitor. They might actually be looking to end the game here.
I think they'll translate this inhib into getting that 4th soul point. Are they trying to?
They kind of want it.
Zeri's dead. They don't really have to worry about taking damage. They might just be going for the end.
I'm so curious to see how this goes. The Blitzcrank engage would be very disastrous. Okay, it looks like Ball State is just going to be looking for the disengage here. They don't quite have the wave or wave clear to look for an angle to end, but that Mountain Drake is up, and Ball State has so much control over this bot side jungle. The engage onto the Gragas. Oh, that is going to be a hook there for the Blitzcrank. Meanwhile, this Gragas is getting absolutely destroyed down there in that bot lane. Is going to use the sustain to just barely get out and disengage. And Ball State not going to look for a re-engage off that Blitzcrank hook. Just going to use that Senna E to walk back to Dragon safely as Akron will follow.
Akron's going to want to contest this, and they're kind of betting the game on this. If they lose this fight, Ball State can just go in.
Yeah, and Nocturne has arrived and does have that ultimate available is the problem for Akron here. One good Nocturne ultimate into an Ari Charm is going to just spell game over. The Blitzcrank hook will connect. Boatlick is silenced. Is going to get gunned down. The Nocturne ult will come out, but Clippers just takes down Nocturne. That is the Blitzcrank hook you needed to land. Super well played there by Flippy Stick, and Ball State is actually forced to disengage here. That is exactly the play that Akron needed to keep themselves in this game.
Yeah, Flippy Stick over here really just being the hero for his team, because if Ball State takes that Dragon, game is over. But now both teams are at soul point. The next Dragon will give whichever team gets it the Dragon Soul, as we are going to take a quick game pause.
I like to imagine that's Boatlick just like angrily typing, pause, we're done here, go next. That was a very well-timed Blitzcrank hook.
I do wonder what might have happened though.
I am curious as to what happened. I didn't notice anything super wonky looking happen there. So maybe there was just some kind of small tech issue from the side of the players.
I think it'll be found out sooner than later though.
Yeah, who knows? Yep. We'll find out. Riot Games is full of unique and fun little interactions. I actually saw a video. You know Nunu's snowball?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there was just this video of the snowball was invisible, and then it hit its target, and then this massive like purple screen tear just like rippled across all of Summoner's Rift.
I haven't seen the screen tear. I have had the invisible snowball bug probably 50 times on Nunu.
Is that lore accurate, Nunu?
No, it's annoying is what it is, because if you're trying to flash over the snowball but you can't actually see the model, you just kind of have to play this weird little guessing game.
It's weird as Nunu also, because you have no idea how big your snowball is whenever you're getting next to people. So it's kind of easy to miss, but also they don't know where it is either. So it kind of hurts both sides a bit. It's such a weird bug. Yeah,
there's a lot of just funny little bugs.
There's the fun bugs where someone gets knocked up like twice at the same time and they just get skyrocketed into the stratosphere.
Oh yeah.
And they just disappear from everyone's screen for a few seconds.
I remember seeing something like that with the Blitzcrank before.
It happens with like pretty much any knockup.
Yeah, no, there was a really famous clip actually where I think a Lee Sin in a semi-pro or even semi-pro game maybe got hit with a double knockup on like a dragon objective and was just like sent to Mars in game and then came plummeting back like what felt like a couple seconds later.
Some of my favorite League videos, like little snippet short forms, I guess you could say, are like Riot August on Twitter.
Yeah, I've been getting those a lot in my like YouTube shorts of just Riot August like bits of information.
Well, what he does is he goes in game and then turns everything into Nautilus. So he said Nautilus isn't strong enough. We're deciding to buff him, and they made his character model like 10 times bigger. And he threw out his hook. The hook was the size of Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, I remember seeing one there that was like, it was like, we thought Set was struggling recently, so we gave his ult a new interaction, and Set could ult towers and just drag the tower out of the ground.
And it one-shot Camille. I've seen that one.
I've seen that one. When Neferi was released, you know how those dogs...
Yeah, he made them Silas.
No. Oh, okay. I didn't know he made them Silas.
Yeah, he gave Silas an ultimate interaction with Neferi. Whenever he used Neferi's ultimate, it spawned in a bunch of mini Silases.
You know, shout out to Riot August. You always give some... First of all, you've designed some of my favorite champions, and also some funny clips.
Oh, yeah. He was on Briar's design, wasn't he?
Briar and Viego, who
Echo,
is
too.
Wow. All right.
some of the most hated champions, honestly, but still some of the most fun, I'd say.
I don't. Who's hating on Echo? I mean, I guess you could hate on him
Oh, I'm
now.
hating on Echo.
He's kind of
Jinx,
strong.
yeah,
now.
I hate on
Jinx.
Echo.
He made the Jinx change where you could get your stacking attack speed that everyone was terrorized by.
Oh
for a month.
yeah, where she would get like an absurd amount of attacks. Didn't
Yeah.
some people get it like close to like 7 or more attack speed?
Something like that. There was this famous clip of I think it was a French player that took one inhibitor with Jinx and then ended the game immediately.
Yeah. So Jinx's passive is whenever she gets a kill or a tower destroys a tower, she gets like a sudden burst of attack speed and move speed. And there's a time when that would infinitely stack. You get 2 kills and you get like 200% attack speed, then 3, and it would just infinitely stack. And it gets to a point where Jinx could just end the game in a couple seconds because she has a billion attack speed.
Which is kind of crazy because I feel like once you start hitting like 2.3, 2.5 attack speed, it just becomes impossible to actually kite.
Yeah, you just right click and let go of your
Yeah.
mouse.
You just kind of have you're just kind of forced to just stand still and auto. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there are some crazy players out there who can kite at like over 2.3 attack speed, but like once it hits that level for me, it's like I'm no longer kiting as much as I'm just clicking and then like leaving after 3 autos.
Yeah. So we are getting word it's only going to be a few more minutes. We're just going to ramble about random league stuff until then, but stick around. It's only going to be about 3 more minutes, something like that.
Do you think it was? I'm trying to think of what could have caused. It had to have
I
been.
think it was something with a Nocturne grab there.
Really?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, you'd think, because Nocturne has not only that Edge of Night, but also a spell shield on the W.
Oh, did Nocturne build? I thought.
No, he doesn't.
or
have
not-
Edge of Night.
Aatrox built the
He
Edge
just
of
has
Night.
spell
Yeah, Nocturne just has a spell
Really?
shield.
Yeah.
I could have sworn Nocturne.
No,
okay.
it was the Aatrox was the one that built Edge of Night, and then the Ahri built Banshee's Veil.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe there's a keyboard issue, because I don't know if he was able to see that hook or not. Maybe it's unrelated. Not sure.
Who knows?
I mean, I've been the victim of many of a Blitzcrank hook that feels like it teleported.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
it could be? We were talking about league problems. They have been just resetting everyone's settings lately. Just completely.
I got that recently too, actually.
I have been struggling with it for the past 3 days. They reset my settings 3 days ago. And for those of you that don't play League, there are hundreds of settings in League. I have spent years changing those things. And resetting the settings is like, it takes a while to get them back to where they were.
Yeah, the one smallest change can really throw you off.
Oh, my color changes. They've changed what the colors look like on my screen, and that throws me off so much.
Yeah. Okay. So because I know we were playing recently, and you said, "Oh, my settings are like reset," and I queued up. I think because that was 2 days ago, and then yesterday I queued up for a few games, and I got they have like there's an agreement that you have to click before you queue up.
Yeah, I got
says,
that
like,
too.
I agree to abide by like just. I don't know, being a good sport. I was like, I haven't had to click on this in like literal years, but okay, sure. And then I queued up for a game and I got in and my colors were changed, my team frames were all messed up, but my complaints about the interface can wait because the pause has been reset and
we're
we are
going to
back
another Baron.
in game and Akron is just rushing that Baron. And
Ball
they're
State's
going to
gonna have
get that Baron. actually.
Third Baron uncontested by Ball State.
Very unfortunate. Ball State will pick up a kill for the Troubles, and they're looking to re-engage here as well. Trey Dog is taking quite low. He's going to use that shield to try and stay alive just a bit longer. And Ball State, they'll at least pick up a kill for their Trouble, but yeah, just unable to really get anything happening there with regards to a Baron play.
Yeah, Ball State really just struggling to close out this game.
Yeah, Ball State is just having a really hard time closing this thing out. Akron is slowly but surely clawing their way off the cliff that Ball State has pushed them to. We'll have to see if it will be enough. Ball State still has a very commanding lead in resources. They have a way better scaling, in my view, especially with that Senna, who's just going to scale infinitely. But never say die, and Akron is not saying die here. They are down towers, they are down gold, but they are keeping up in objectives. They are still trying to find a way to get back into this game.
And if Ball State can't close this out soon, it's going to get to a point where their lead doesn't really matter. Akron's they're gonna hit their max levels. Ball State's already hitting level 18 on 3 of their characters. They're gonna be hitting full build soon.
Before it disappears, I just want to interrupt you and call attention to this massive gold deficit.
Yeah, it's insane.
That is absolutely crazy. But as you were saying.
Yeah, as I say, there is this huge gold lead, but at some point, having extra gold's not going to matter. You can only buy 6 items. If you have...
Here comes the engage, and Akron engage. But that is going to be the Zanya's Hourglass, keeping them in stasis just barely alive, but not alive for much longer. Llama Demon will go down. The Lilia ultimate will connect. That was all members of Ball State minus the Aatrox put to sleep, but there was just nobody from Akron to follow up on that. And I think that might be it. I do agree. Once you start hitting this 40-minute mark, that lead kind of doesn't start to matter, but death timers are so long once you reach this point, and that Lilia is going to be gone for such a long time. Ball State will have a huge numbers advantage to work with in the meantime.
The higher the level you are, the longer the death timers, and also level 18 is the max level in the game. So when these people die at level 18, it's like over a minute death timer, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I don't actually know the exact numbers.
And that's starting from at the start of the game, death timers are like 3 seconds. And now they're a minute to... They might be over a minute, I'm not sure. It might just be a minute. But still, that's a long bit of downtime in League of Legends.
Yeah, it's exactly why you don't want to be dying super, super late into this game. Ball State, they did get a numbers advantage. They did manage to pressure a bit, but that inhibitor is going to respawn. It wasn't a lot they could convert off of that particular kill. We do have that dragon spawning in about 1 minute and 15 seconds, and I think Ball State is looking to just play around that. You can see them constantly getting vision control of this bot side jungle and looking to just secure this dragon when it comes up.
Yeah, I think Ball State really wins off of the soul here. That really makes it to where Tahm Kench is unkillable. By all means of that. It goes so far when making this Tahm Kench even more tankier than he already is.
I mean, just look at his items. He's got Spirit Visage, Hollow Radiance, Knight's Vow, Frozen Heart, saving a spot for a control ward, but could easily just build another tank item.
Something like Joksha.
Oh, jeez. Honestly, I don't think Cannon Gurkhan would be a terrible last item to capstone it either.
I wouldn't be against an Anathema's Chains and just dumping it on this Zeri.
Yeah, I think that would be very good too.
That would be so evil, to be honest. That Zeri is going to do nothing to Tahm Kench. As you can see, Ball State, they have a lot of vision control down here, and they're definitely looking for an engage. You can see Chumpslog walking in the back, but here comes the Nocturne ultimate as Boatlick is holding onto it. Wamba Baby is going to get a kill, and here comes the massive engage. The Senate ult is going to be cast as well, and that is a very low karma in the back line. Will be taken down, double kill for Wombat Baby. Zeri is trying to DPS, but there is just simply no peel. She does get the shutdown onto Wombat Baby, but Chumpslog is tanking all these Zeri autos. Silk Flannel is legendary. That is a pretty low-looking Ball State.
I was getting scared there.
But that is going to be a very dead Zeri. The Guardian Angel will not save you there. The ace coming out from Ball State, and like you said, those are 60-second death timers. I think Ball State can easily end the game right here.
Honestly, props to Chumpslog for hitting the Zeri in the height of her, or the peak of their movement speed.
That knockup was clutch, because I do think Zeri has the damage to kill all of Ball State right there if they're not able to knock her up and finish her off before she gets her damage off.
But this will be Ball State securing the victory, destroying that Nexus.
And wow, I think that's Ball State's longest game. Close to it, at least.
It has to. It is either the second or the longest game we've had in the ESC season. But that was Very well done by Ball State. Akron putting up quite a show at the end, especially managing to come back to make some really solid plays.
Yeah,
but
it got scary there at certain points. Getting those Barons. There were definitely times.
Stole 1 Baron, snuck 2 Barons.
Yeah.
It's not every day you see a team get 3 Barons and lose the game.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
That's a little tough. It's less Akron messing up and more they were just in a bad situation, and them getting Baron is like them playing really well. Like them being able to get Barons there is kind of crazy.
Really one of Silk Flannel's best games here.
Absolutely. You can look at the total gold. That's about 86.5K for Ball State, and Silk Flannel absolutely having a lot of that gold. Did not die once that game.
Something I'd like to mention, Zeri never bought Lord Dominic's.
Yeah,
Expecting the IE and Guardian Angel as her final 2 items.
The IE makes sense. I get that. It's just I think that Bloodthirster is just not useful.
I think
it's not even that. I think the Static Shiv, you could have gotten rid of that.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know how much gold she
You don't need the wave clear once you have 6 items.
Did she have 6 items before? Like, did she have enough gold to sell that and get another item?
I believe so. But yeah, honestly, this was a very good game on Ball State's side. We see a large gold deficit in mid lane. See quite a gold deficit in the support role, but that is a Senna, so it's to be expected.
And yeah, we've talked about Silk Flannel. He had an amazing game, but I think every member of Ball State had some very, very important standout moments. We saw Wombat Baby hitting 2 stuns in a single fight. Or not stuns, charms. 2 very important charms that pretty much won them the fight. We saw Nocturne getting some great ultimates out. We saw Chumslog getting some great knockups. Senna putting in lots of damage. Every player of Ball State really, without a single member, they would have lost. Everyone was pulling their weight, putting in very important plays to win that game.
I think if at any point Ball State was able to secure one of those Barons, the game would have been over at least 10, 15 minutes faster.
Yeah, 100%.
1000%. So if I'm Akron here, definitely, what are you kind of thinking of, like, going into the next game? For one thing, I definitely think like itemization. I feel like as a skill that can kind of be overemphasized by some people, but I really do feel like he kind of lost the shopkeeper a little bit in that bot lane. I don't Static Shiv, I can understand. I know it's taken on a few ADCs as a first item. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I can see why you would do that. But I really don't understand why you're not, like, in that team, I'm probably just going, if I want to go Static Shiv, just go Static Shiv. I personally would go
I think LDR
else.
Third item would have been.
Yeah, but I was about to say
beneficial.
LDR third just feels so natural. Like just goes to static IE LDR. Like that's a nice chunk of damage right there for Zeri.
Akron also really needs to consider their team comp's damage sources.
Yeah.
I think having 3 people that did exclusively, I guess Blitzcrank also does AP, but he's not really a damage dealer.
Yeah.
I think having 3 team members dedicated to dealing AP damage and only 1 for AD. That is such a massive lopside that it allows for these picks like Tom Kent to really succeed more than they normally would.
Yeah, I'd say that I think the Gragas, in my opinion, is what needs to change. Clearly, he wasn't able to win lane. Kind of, Silk Flannel kind of ran away with the lead and was able to impact the game a lot. Swap Gragas out for either a tankier option or some AD. Yeah. I think if they just had one other attack damage source that game, they could have won the game. Because Zeri was putting in work. Zeri was putting in lots of damage. Work. Maybe she could have done more with the different items, but still, the Zeri was playing quite well, getting lots of damage onto Ball State. If they had one more AD damage source, I think they could have won that game.
Absolutely. I agree. I think the Gragas was kind of an issue. I liked how Lilia was playing those team fights. So, if you are going to throw a different source of damage here for Akron, I think top lane's kind of the place to do it. Maybe you just pick up the Aatrox for yourself. Maybe you just go for a frontline tank, right? Like grabbing, I know Cassante was left open. You could go for Ornn maybe, or something like that. But it really does just feel like it was kind of just a draft issue, an itemization issue. It felt like Ball State had such a clear game plan going into this particular game, and Akron I wasn't entirely sure what the idea behind their draft was. I guess with Ball State, it's pretty clear, like, protect the Senna. It was kind of the idea behind their composition, very standard. And yeah, we are going to be seeing this gold graph again.
Really, the Knights, the Blitzcrank did itemize fine. Karma opting in to going, Crypt Bloom, Malignance, Morellonomicon, Ione Boots of Lucidity. That's fine. But where I really think Akron really messed up is with this top and this jungle. I think if the mid AD carry and support are perfect for what Zeri wants to do, but I think if we had a different top laner, a different jungler, Akron really could have succeeded here when fighting against Ball State. Ball State's all about, let's get in, let's get everybody into the fight. If Akron has great disengage or great response to that, they most likely would have gotten away with this game because of the Barons that they stole. But we need to really emphasize the fact that this Zeri really did great considering all of her mistakes. LDR would have probably won this game. Considering that mistake, Zeri really pulled off what the character wanted to do to a T. Blitzcrank getting that hook and that Nocturne really decided a lot of the flow of the game, especially when we had that pause. That in specific really gave Akron the chance they needed to win the game and pull it off. But that last team fight was so monumental, and there was a large mistake when they split up their team. If you noticed, we had Blitzcrank Karma Zeri on the left side of mid lane, close to where the tower would be, and then we had the Lilia and Gragas over near where red side tower would be.
Yeah.
That entire disengage really allows for this Nocturne to use his ultimate, go in, get kills on the people that matter, and just allow for them to just rush their base in the game. Wave over them, if you will.
Yeah, it seemed like they were kind of falling for what you see happen in your solo queue games, where someone just gets caught out and Nocturne ults on their head and gets a pick. But we are going into the draft with a Pyke and a Maokai ban. See it every single game.
I'm not surprised. Yep. Ball State will be on the red side here, so they will have an opportunity to, in theory, at least counterpick every single thing that's drafted, but you do give first pick priority to Akron, of course. And as a second, I was about to say, I wouldn't be shocked to see Fura or Ari coming out. It looks like you just want to save these ban slots for some of Ball State's stronger picks. If you're not looking to pick up the Karma yourself, wouldn't be shocked to see a ban, but Smolder ban coming through once again. No surprise there. Hate that champion.
I want to see some Callista this game.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
No, it would be fun to see Callista. I actually don't know who you ban here. If you're Akron, I would assume just go for a comfort pick like Ari, but I mean you're just leaving so many strong champions open. I do actually like that Senna ban quite a bit.
Shut down the Senna Tom Kench.
It does leave open this Nocturne pick, though, if they really want to go that again. They did succeed.
Yeah, that Bel'Veth has been banned out as well. So once again, Karma is left open, and that's just going to be first picked immediately.
I don't think Karma is good enough to be like the always first pick anymore. She was a few patches ago. Like, she's good. It's just, is that really your priority first pick?
It's a good flex pick and it has a lot of utility.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it's like as broken as it was previously, but it is a good flex pick. Like, she was putting out lots of damage, and again, that utility is really, really strong. It's going to be a first pick Ari coming out from the side of Ball State, and Varus. So we might be seeing that Varus Ashe bot lane. I would be very excited to see that in action. Ball State just loves these sort of pokey, oppressive bot lanes, and Varus Ashe is that to a T.
Oh, and I'm seeing the account Dawn is Diesel in chat. You know that painting you bought? Wait, where's the... That's the person in that painting you bought. Just
that is such a specific call out.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
For Christmas, a painting was bought for a sibling of mine who doesn't know what League of Legends is, and it was an Ari painting. And
that is weird.
Yeah, it's because the person didn't know that it was Ari. They just thought it was a cool picture.
That's really funny, actually.
And they're in chat right now, so.
That's really funny. Vi going to be drafted here from the side of Akron. I think that's a solid pick. Pairs well with Karma. No complaints about Vi.
Expect to see something like Nautilus here, or someone that can really react to that Vi's engage on an AD carry like Varus.
Yeah, Varus Ashe does kind of leave you open to that Vi engage, and especially if they're going to be picking up Kaisa in the bot lane, like that's a lot of all-in power. So,
Or we could see something like Sejuani, where in the team fights, you know, if the Vi does try to get onto that Varus and does not give herself enough damage to really do something about it.
I was about to say, I was
going
to say Wukong or Poppy would be a solid pick.
Yeah, I want to see the Poppy.
I'm not. Okay.
Jarvan.
I don't know how I feel about that as a response to the all-in potential from what from the draft of Kaisa and Vi, but again, because of just how his kit works, I don't think it's like ever truly bad to draft a Jarvan in your lineup. Blitzcrank is going to be banned out from the side of Ball State.
The Ash Band.
Yeah, all right,
out.
there's the Ash Band coming out, so they don't want to deal with that.
I watched
either.
a video this morning, an LS video, and
Oh,
I only
no.
watched maybe 1 minute of it. And at the very, very start, he was screaming about how if you lock Jarvan or Xin Chao, you have to have an Enchanter support. That is like a rule in his head for some reason. And I wonder if Ball State's going to follow that.
I can see the idea behind it because you get a lot of engage.
Oh, are we grabbing the Gragas?
Wouldn't it be terrible? Again, because it's just one of those evergreen champs, it's like
Yeah.
never truly terrible to draft Gragas, but it can be suboptimal. I think it works with this team, but I would like the Gwen a lot better,
I
to be
think
honest.
the top lane Poppy could be fine too. I think Poppy would have been better than Jarvan here.
I'm inclined to agree. To your point about Enchanter supports, because you do get a lot of engage out of those picks already,
Yeah.
I can see why it's like, all right, we already have a ton of engage. We might as well just
Keep them alive.
Yeah, just draft an Enchanter, keep them alive. Milio and Varus especially, I feel like would be a pretty nasty combo because Varus has so much poke available. But there's some parts to disagree with, but overall, I think Ball State's draft is really solid. That feels entirely random to me. Why did we just lock in Kled as Akron?
I don't. Does Kled beat Gwen?
I mean, Kled is arguably one of the strongest top laners before level 6.
Yeah.
I agree, but my main concern is Kled is going to ult. We have lost the draft graphic, but Kled is going to ult into that Ball State team and is going to be charmed, jumped on by this Jarvan, gonna get engaged on by this Gwen. Maybe you win that laning phase, sure, but
So we are being told that they're resetting the lobby. I don't know.
maybe it's because of the Kled pick.
That might have. Oh, the timer ran down.
The timer ran down.
I guess it random picked the Kled.
Oh, did they run out of time?
Oh.
I mean, that seems like a skill issue to me.
I mean, I don't know what the rules say, but I am inclined to agree that it's on your drafting issue.
I'm not sure what the rules say about that.
I mean, there is the classic Riot client bug where you just can't lock in a champion.
Oh yeah.
So that easily could have happened.
That also could have happened.
Yeah. Okay. My high school, our mascot for our esports program is Skarner, because in one of our like important games, we actually had that bug happen to our jungler, and it random picked Skarner,
And they made him
won.
play?
They won.
Oh,
They won?
that's awesome.
With Skarner?
Skarner,
And like
champ.
the team comp had no reason to play with the
How did your
Skarner.
jungler like?
I would
no
be,
one plays Skarner. Like no one has experience playing
I would be
Skarner.
riding that high for the rest of my life.
Dude, we're not even there anymore. And we
So-
still use Skarner.
So I think we're gonna see draft play out pretty much exactly the same up until that Kled pick. We should be seeing a Maokai ban if it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, it looks like we're just going to
We
run the
we
same.
have to carbon copy till we get to that, I guess, Kled pick.
It has to be the Kled pick. That feels so random for that draft. I mean, I don't like calling things a straight up like int or troll, but
it doesn't seem good.
that feels like it would tank your composition in a very, very bad way.
But hey, we might be shocked to find out that maybe that's not the problem. Maybe the Kled was not the issue,
What if it wasn't?
and they wanted to lock it.
I would disagree heavily then, honestly. I feel like yeah, I agree. Kled has a crazy early game. It's his W that gets him the extra auto attacks. That can do a ton of damage if you're not careful. And in solo queue especially, if that Kled gets a lead in lane, he can just snowball. But it sort of feels like a Warwick top pick, where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna kind of win lane off of this. And in solo queue, that's more than enough. But in this sort of environment, that's
Yeah, you need to be useful after.
yeah, exactly.
After winning lane.
You can't just always win lane, win game in a very organized environment. So we'll see that. We are approaching the spot where Kled had been picked. So we're going to get the Blitzcrank Nautilus ban, the Aatrox ban, and then we selected Gwen here. So we're going to be picking up that Gwen. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
there's the Gwen, and then let's see,
All
does
right.
it change?
Gragas is being hovered. I'm not sure. Like
Swaps to Kled quickly.
Yeah.
alongside-
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it was
so
the Kled issue.
there was a Kled issue. I'm not sure I love Gragas with this draft. Again,
I'll say at least they have both kinds of damage right
yeah,
now.
at least it is mixed damage. But I didn't know. I feel like Gragas into Gwen isn't very Gragas favored.
No, that sounds
No, it's
really
not.
rough for Gragas. If he ever like belly bumps in on Gwen, I think she just kills him.
Lulu.
Well, here's your engaged jungler enchanter support combo that you wanted. It's just on the side of Akron. Lulu Kaisa is, I think, pretty strong. You're going to have a lot of poke there. You can have a lot of ability to keep Kaisa alive when she goes in, right, with the ultimate with Polymorph. So I think this is a pretty solid pick.
I'm
I
expecting something like a Nautilus here, maybe?
Yeah, I think
Nautilus has been banned.
Ball State.
Oh, Nautilus.
Ball State either needs a tank
Was
or an
banned.
enchanter right here.
My
or-
bad. Rel. Okay.
Rel.
I love the Rel pick.
I like
Alright,
Rel also.
I
I like
actually
seeing
really
Rel.
like this. There is a ton of lockdown from Ball State.
It also really negates the engage that a Gragas and a Vi can really give out.
Now I
Yeah.
will say I think that this should be an on-hit Varus game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 1000%.
So, and I don't think we've seen him build on hit yet. I'm excited to see it for the first time. Normally he goes the lethality build.
Something I feel might be an issue here. There's not really a lot of shielding or Serpent's Fang potential here. You have a shield from Karma, you have a shield from Lulu.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
honestly,
about it.
actually, I don't think lethality of Varus would be terrible because you do have 3 pretty squishy-ish members of Akron, and I think if you take Serpent's Fang first, that's gonna make laning really hard for the side of Akron. And then you can spec into maybe anti-heal if you want. I think my only issue is you're going to lose out a lot of damage as a result
Well,
of
yeah,
that.
there's 4 shields on the side of Akron.
Yeah, Vi does have a shield pass.
Vi passive, Karma, Kaisa ultimate,
And then I guess if
and then just Lulu.
Gragas goes Seraph's Embrace.
Yeah, if Gragas goes Seraphs too, this might...
we might be wrong. It might just
yeah.
be a lethality Serpent's Fang game.
At least what I'm jumping to when I see this draft, if I'm ADC, is like, oh, I just want to go Serpent's Fang first item. You might even, honestly, I think you would still get a lot of value out of just like going Serpent's Fang and then just specking into an on-hit build from there.
Yeah, it could work out. There's also a world where Jarvan builds the Serpent's Fang, although I doubt it.
Oh, that's...
Lethality Jarvan.
I would actually love to see that, not gonna lie.
It would be an interesting game to watch.
I think he needs to be a little more. He needs to kind of be their front line along with Rel. So I doubt he'll do that. We'll probably see like a Sundered Sky standard bruiser build, I'd imagine.
Just pick up Serpent's Fang as Ahri. Easy.
Yeah.
80 Ahri, but only for your first item.
The cleanse on Kazu here does make sense, but if we can bait it out with something like the Ignite, Rel Q, something like that, I don't see really anything that this Kaisa can really do to avoid any damage.
Yeah, Cleanse is kind of mandatory into the team comp that Ball State has drafted, but the issue is you have Jarvan, Ahri, Varus.
You have a lot of things you can
Rel.
use it on that you need to use it on.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's going to be so easy for Ball State to just bait out the Cleanse. It's like,
So we might see an inspiration secondary tree from this Kaisa here if they go something like Hail of Blades or Lethal Tempo with, a Magical Footwear, a Cosmic Insight. Getting that Summoner Spell of Haste would definitely be beneficial when using something like a Cleanse here.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm expecting to see a lot of Tenacity being built out, although I guess there aren't a lot of Tenacity items that this comp can really go. I'm trying to think.
Wits in?
Yeah.
But then you have to go on hit.
Yeah, but then you have to go on
Yeah.
hit with Kaisa, and I don't think Kaisa on hit is the move here.
I mean, Vi can get Asterix.
and that's kind of it, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I think that's just about it.
All right, well, I think we'll be seeing a lot of Zanya's hourglasses perhaps being purchased.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, it is. I like Ball State's draft a lot more. I think what Akron's drafted is okay. I just feel like they don't have a lot of great responses to the lockdown coming out from Ball State, and Ball State has a ton of damage options. They have a ton of engage options. And it really feels like from the side of Akron, it's really just relying on we're going to keep our Kai'Sa alive.
I really want to see something different from their top laner, Akron. I don't think Gragas is the play.
Especially into Gwen,
Yeah.
I feel like Gragas is going to struggle a lot in that lane.
Gwen is immune.
Gwen is immune. Gwen is immune.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a different pick. However, I do think they have a better comp this game than they did last game.
Yeah, but to what degree?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
It's going to depend very heavily on how Akron wants to play their engage, because this is, again, this is clearly feels like just keep Kai'Sa alive and let Kai'Sa DPS with the Lulu, with the Vi, with the Karma, and all that. So it really is just going to depend on how Akron plays their engage and how their carry is going to position themselves. Are you going to be able to, keep the Ball State engage dive sort of strategy from jumping on your team? And we'll just have to see how it pans out. But here we go, Game 2, Ball State and Akron. It sounds like we're thinking the Cardinals take this one away.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Ball State's team comp this game.
Oh, wow.
We also have to consider how well this Kai'Sa is going to scale.
Uh-oh.
Did take lethal tempo. We'll see a on-hit build.
Has to flash right
Go
off the
through.
bat.
Yeah, and that Kai'Sa is going lethal tempo, so is playing for that more scaly build.
It also seems we're going to have an on-hit Varus build here, too.
Yep, Ferris also going lethal tempo.
I don't think we'll be seeing Serpent's Fang this game. Both these teams are playing up a bit. I don't know if it's in Akron's best interests to try and force something early, to be honest. But you do get the flash out from that Jarvan, which is actually kind of big. For the next 5 minutes, that Jarvan is just going to have to engage without using flash. And, I mean, Jarvan with flash is a very different champion compared to Jarvan without flash.
Yeah, we talked a lot yesterday about how important flash is for Vi, and I'd say it's equally as important for Jarvan. It's kind of just free ganks if you have your flash up.
Gragas going to be getting a nice little trade-off. I'm expecting things to play a lot more slowly, especially since Jarvan no longer has flash. We're going to probably see something similar to last game, where both these teams are just going to be looking to play for more mid-game power spikes rather than anything crazy happening early. Just kind of chilling, just farming.
I don't expect to see any of those early kills going on in the bot lane, unless this... I could see maybe Ball State picking up a kill, but I don't think Akron has the kill pressure to... They're not going to hook someone in and get a kill early.
A lot of damage coming out from this Kai'Sa, getting 2 auto attacks in that W.
Yeah, you have a very pokey bot lane here as Akron. With Lulu and Kai'Sa, you can just kind of throw out a bunch of abilities, and there's not much that the Rel can do in response, and certainly not that the Varus can do in response. So you aren't going to be having like a super oppressive early game coming out from the side of Ball State. They're just trying to look to, once again, just hit their power spikes and just survive until then.
Yep, I expect to see Ball State's bot lane kind of just turtling under their tower. I don't think they're going to die at all, but they're not going to be able to fight much unless the junglers come.
They are kind of zoning the Kai'Sa Lulu off this wave a bit.
Yeah, they might have a stronger level 2. It might have been a... Akron's got a stronger level 1, Ball State has a stronger level 2.
Yeah, that is sort of the danger when you want to push these waves super, super fast, is instead of trying to stack the wave here, Akron bot lane sort of opted to crash it really quickly, and now it's bouncing back to them, and now they're sort of faced with this awkward proposition of you have an engage that's walking into you, and you don't have all your spells up just yet.
Well, into this bot lane matchup, you really have to take trades when you can get them. We see a Vi coming in, maybe trying to gank. You have to take trades when you can get them, because Kai'Sa is also about getting her passive off in the same way Varus is. Varus gets 3 auto attacks, uses an ability, gets extra damage. Kai'Sa really wants to proc her passive to get any kind of like meaningful trade. So it's really awkward deciding how much you really want to commit. We see the Jarvan invading.
And I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty bloodless game at the start. I don't see...
Oh, you might want to hold that thought. Oh, nope. Not even going to go for it. Just going to... Llama Demon just going to back here.
I don't see any solo kills happening in the mid lane. Karma's a little too hard to take down, and Ahri can just... It's pretty hard for Karma to kill Ahri this early.
Yeah.
Top lane, you could see Silk Flannel maybe get a kill, but Gragas would have to mess up pretty bad to not be able to escape from a fight like that.
Jarvan starting at his golems.
And yeah, we do have that Drake coming up in about 25 seconds. Ball
You
State.
might contest grubs. Go to Drake. Your bot lane is most likely going to have more prio from Varus's auto or attack speed passive.
I would assume Ball State wants to play for this Drake. As you can see, Bolik is kind of clearing down to it. And Ball State bot lane is keeping that prio going. We do have the mid TP, so we are going to have Wombat Baby once again getting that mid prio pretty easily thanks to Ari.
Karma TP coming out as well.
Yeah, this is, it really is just sort of waiting for the junglers to make a move. We are going to have the engage from Quacker. The double stun is going to go off.
There's going to be a fight breaking out up on the grubs at the same time.
Jarvan actually does manage to take those grubs as Gragas is rotating down and the
I think
mid
he only
is rotating
stole
up.
one.
He did manage to steal one. Blue team will take the rest of the grubs, and that exchange happened so quickly that I don't think we're going to have time to really pan up to it. Although, yeah, the full engage is coming out. Wombat Baby is forced to use that ultimate just to get out. 0-0. Void grubs have been taken. Nobody died in that entire exchange.
And I think Gragas just showed up to steal some CS from Karma.
As you do, as you do.
Gwen's wave is crashing. She might back if she wants to. It seems she wants to get vision, either in river or blue side jungle.
Again, this is a very slow game coming out from both teams. They are really just waiting for those mid-game power spikes, as you can see. Everybody just kind of level up at the same time. The flash charm is going to miss, but mid chicken is going to land a tether. But here comes the engage from the Jarvan. I think mid chicken actually gets out. The flash is going to come out from the Jarvan. Mid chicken is so
Just
low.
don't quite have the damage. If any of those missed abilities hit, that is a kill for Ball State.
Absolutely.
Well played from mid chicken.
You know, all I'm saying is if we went lethality Jarvan, we'd have the damage there.
Yeah, would we? Winnel is coming out into a fight with the Gragas.
With the three long swords, it could be lethality Jarvan.
That is, yeah, actually 3 long swords is a big AD spike for Jarvan. Gold-wise, it's fairly even across the board. Most people are sitting at that 2K mark with the exception of the supports and that, well, Gwen just hit the 2K mark, so now it's just the supports. Very even game so far. Ball State, because of their CS lead, has a slight gold advantage.
Now, I think we can already tell this game is probably going to go to a little late.
Oh, yeah.
Just based on how slow they're playing.
Well, it depends on how fast this Varus can scale, how fast this Gwen can scale, this Kaisa.
Yeah.
They really can get away with
I was
just
gonna
throwing
say,
the game in their favor.
What team comp do you think scales better here?
I think BSU especially.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to say Ball State with the Gwen and the Varus.
Gwen and Varus.
Yeah.
Compared to just the one Kaisa on the enemy team. Or Akron, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Getting this Drake prio, start stacking these, make it to where Akron really has to play this bot side well.
Yeah, but I'm kind of surprised that Akron isn't at least trying to contest Drake a little bit. Like, you do have some awkward prio in that bot lane, but I really feel like he could at least get vision down. But they're just going to give it that Drake will be secured by Ball State. And we are back to Farmville.
Yep, not a lot going on right now.
Oh, okay, the stun does land. Shield is going to be cast by Lulu.
And they're going to walk away.
Yep. It's like, all right, we got the Lulu cooldowns, everybody. Maybe looking for an engage here is going to jump down. Will land the stun. Does land the ultimate. All right, they're going for this. Oh, that Varus ult does miss, and the Kaisa ult will connect. The Ignite is on this Kaisa. That Lulu is so low, but Trumpslot can't quite get it. Kroka is 1 HP and is just going to be taken down. First blood at 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. We'll go to that Vi after ulting the 1 HP Rel.
A big issue here. I think the Kaisa should have just kept running at the Varus. Giving that kill to Vi is fine if you make sure that you get the kill onto the Varus. But the Varus did, or the Vi did not give that kill to Kaisa. So the gold really is going nowhere it really should.
Yeah, I don't think a kill on the Vi really matters much.
You are going to get those tanky items, or at least some bruiser items. It looks like she is going for a bit of a bruiser build there. So, I mean, it is still damage. It is still health. It's not as bad as, like, you know, Zac getting first blood or something, or Rel getting first blood to pick a champion that's actually in the game. But it would have been nice to give that to the Kaisa, because that's really how you kind of start speeding things up a bit and upping the tempo here as Akron is getting that ADC online.
Good news, though, is Varus did not have to leave lane, so he can just continue farming.
Yeah, he's taking ADC. Oh, here comes that engage from the Jarvan. The Charm once again misses, but the Cataclysm will keep that Karma in there, and Boatlick will take down mid-chicken.
Showing the strength of a Jarvan with Flash. Or wait, there was no Flash.
No,
it was
just
ultimate.
ult.
Yeah,
was
no,
just
he
ultimate.
just EQ'd ulted in there.
Wow.
And it does
My
look
bad.
like Jarvan's going to steal some camps and hopefully rotate it over to these grubs and grab them.
Yeah, this is a pretty good opportunity to at least try for Void Grubs here. You have Prio in the mid lane. You can go and gank topside and get those Void Grubs. But denying resources to this Vi is a pretty solid play as well.
Vi is trying to steal in return. Let's see if Ball State can stop her and make this a truly good trade for Boatlick up in the top.
Poca
jungle.
channeling that Hex Flash is going to land the stun. Jump Slug just going to be auto-attacking. Will get the flash out from the Vi at least. Does land the ultimate, gets the root as well, and that is a dead-looking Vi, but the shielding
messed up her
is
Q.
crazy. And Llama
hit the
Demon
wall?
She
hit
hit
the
the wall.
wall with their Q. That is just such a tragic mistake. And that is going to be a quick double kill for that Ball State bot lane. And we talked about you want to get the ADC online here, but the same is true for Ball State in this scenario.
And Ball State does take the gold lead with that fight. And
This
all the
Varus
gold being
going
on
to
Varus.
come online faster than the Kaisa. This Varus is going to be really putting out so much pressure on the spot side. That's something that Lulu cannot react to because of the Rel being there.
Yeah, they're probably going to back right here and try to cash in the gold that they just got from that victory.
Oh, Flash is going to land onto the top lane there. Gwen will go down, but Bolik will get a kill back in response. I'm not sure how we got to the position where they were fighting in between their top lane towers, but I'm not entirely sure if that's worth for Gragas. It does at least put the top lane wave state in a really awkward spot for Ball State.
You know, I like seeing this gold on Boatlick.
Did we not learn?
What? Oh, yeah, wait, Vi, I kind of thought we were watching a replay. Then I'm like, wait, we don't have replays.
Oh, wait, yeah, no, we don't have... Okay, yeah, just going to go down the ult from the Kaisa, trying to peel for Llama Demon here. I am actually shocked. I'm not sure what the plan was there.
Vi really upset that she lost her top jungle, wanting to steal some back and just dying twice for it.
That just felt very unnecessary from the side of Akron. I don't know what the plan was there, and that's just going to be kind of a free kill for Ball State.
And it does look like Varus... Oh, Wombat Baby getting a solo kill onto the Karma in the mid lane. Something we love seeing from him, and he tends to do quite often.
With someone like on-hit Varus, you know, getting these items really determines how fast you come online, whereas with the lethality, when you get your first item, you're insanely strong. Seeing something break out top lane? Nothing
Yeah,
happens.
going to force out the Ghost from the Gwen there. It looks like Ball State is just going to go for the Dragon, and Akron's going to try and trade Void Grubs. Yeah, another double kill for the Varus. You do get the Rel taken down, but that's 1,000% worth it for Ball State.
I expect to see a Bork whenever they back and buy here, or if they buy a Bork.
Yeah, he's going for Bork, for sure.
Yeah, that's a Bork. That is a Bork, you're right.
So Flannel, is going to get Gragas ulted away, but Trey is taken so low. Yeah, I don't know. Walking up there seems a bit risky. Off-screen, Hextech will be secured by Ball State. There is an invade from the Vi in the top jungle, spotted out by Quokka. Llama Demon is just trying to get something, anything, is down about 30 CS to this Jarvan, and it's just not going to be allowed to get any farm whatsoever.
Yeah, and now we're at a point in the game where Ball State is just winning all three lanes, winning jungle. It's really... Akron's going to have to make something happen because Ball State is very quickly going to run away with this game, especially now that Varus has items.
Quokka just going to do the Quokka special of Hex flashing and then walking away. Mid-chicken, maybe looking to follow up. There are no members of Akron. This feels really risky because you do not have vision here as Akron. And yeah, Ball State is just going to turn this into a quick skirmish. This might not go their way. That is actually a pretty big shutdown for the side of Akron, rather. Excuse me. But Ball State is going to get a kill back in return. Rel does go down. That is a double kill for Ball State, but this is kind of a lot messier than I think Ball State would have liked. They are at least going to get the triple kill, but that's a big shutdown you just gave to Kaisa, and that's kind of the one champion you don't want to give it to.
Yeah, it was a 4-for-2 trade. Akron losing 4 members, Ball State losing 2. However, I would say overall that's a positive trade for Akron.
when you're really far behind, you kind of just take those.
Yeah, especially with that big of a shutdown.
Yeah, that definitely felt a lot messier than Ball State intended. I think you didn't expect to lose that many people in that particular skirmish.
It levels out the gold difference between these two ADCs, but mid lane's still 2K gold ahead of their counterpart on Ball State's side.
Yeah, Wombat Baby is quietly destroying his lane, actually. He's 4 kills.
Up 30 CS.
Yeah.
And Ari gets very scary once she gets her items and if she has the lead. Dealing so much damage, a lot of it true damage with her abilities.
Is opting for a Malignance too, so we'll have that ultimate on a much shorter cooldown.
Oh yeah, Malignance on Ari, your ult's basically always up. It's insane.
Ball State, we do see them trying to get control of this topside jungle, looking for a Herald play. Oh, and here comes the engage. The charm does not land. The flash is going to be committed by Mid Chicken. And Mid Chicken just trying to get out. Poca, meanwhile, is dueling in the back lane, and that is a nice tower dive from Wombat Baby. Absolutely unstoppable right now. The ult landing from Rel.
Hitting the charm
on the Vi. Gonna force out the flash. Llama Demon just has to leave. Cataclysm is going to be dropped on the Trade Dog. Trade Dog will get out, but Llama Demon will fall.
The last cast of Gwen's R kills Vi in this situation.
Yeah, manages to sniper out of the play.
And yeah, that is a free Rift Herald for Ball State, and maybe even a tower dive on the trade out here. Quokka is super, super low, but Gwen is immune, and the Ignite will go down. Quokka will pick up the kill. And Ball State once again running away with the game.
Up 11 kills already. Very 6K gold lead. Like, it's... I'm not sure what Akron can do to come back from this. They're going to need to... I mean, these fights are pretty close. It's just after losing that one, I'm not sure the fights are going to be close anymore.
It feels like ever since spring break that Ball State has just really locked in, even more so, honestly. I mean, these are like the kill differential in a lot of the games that we've seen over the past, from yesterday and today, has been absolutely crazy, right? Like the game against NEU, that was like 20-something kills to 2, and now it's like 17 kills to 6. Ball State, I mean, even when they were against weaker teams in the early season, I wasn't really expecting them to sort of run away with like this big a lead. It really feels like they've just evolved so much as a team.
Do me a favor, look at the level of the Jarvan and the level of the Vi.
We've got
That's
Jarvan,
11-8. Oh my.
Yeah. 3-level lead.
9
2 levels now. Still quite a big gap. You get lots of stats for leveling up, so a big lead like that's great. As a fight breaks out in the mid lane, Lulu is going to fall to Boatlick.
We see the Varus opting in for a Terminus second item.
A Terminus second item, just going for the double recurve bow. That's a lot of attack speed, decent chunk of damage. Chance of making this the charm will hit, and Mid Chicken does a beautiful rotate from Ball State into a tower dive. Actually, just a tower kill with another kill of that Karma to top it off. And I mean, I don't want to call it now, guys, but Ball State is looking amazing so far.
I'm trying to remember, I think I called this game at 24 minutes. So let's see how it goes.
Herald is going to be dropped on that tower. And yeah, in the mid lane, we got another fight breaking out, but I mean, there's just not a lot you can do. This Varus does so much damage. Run, Lulu. You can't run. The Varus will gun you down in the end. Flashes are committed. The charm will land. Triple kill for that Varus.
You know what I said? The Varus of the Kaisa can really run away with the game, throw it in their team's lead. I think 4 kills onto a Varus before minute 10 is not great.
Gwen is immune, and Gwen's got the damage as well. We'll just snip, and Gragas will be removed from Summoner's Rift. 23 kills to 7, 40k gold to about 30k.
This really feels like a repeat of last time's last game.
It really does.
Yeah. It feels like Ball State kind of figures out the enemy team in the first couple games, and then every time they play their last game, they just dominate.
There's not much else to say. We are nearing the 20-minute mark, and Ball State has taken 5 towers to Akron's 1. They've gotten every single objective. To be fair, they did give up some void grubs, but they've gotten every single objective since then.
But it's like, what are Void Grubs? Void Grubs are doing nothing for Akron right now.
Yeah, exactly. Void Grubs are great if you can take towers, but Akron can't even get into their own jungle, let alone try and take a tower.
Here we have, we're going to see an engage.
And the
does
charm
hit the charm.
lands, and that's immediately a kill. Chumslog on a rampage, and I don't think Clippers is getting out either.
Damage.
Yep, Wombat Baby is, in fact, god-like. Wombat Baby and Boatlick have yet to die in this game.
And they're going to turn that into a Baron.
That is a 20-minute. The Baron literally just spawned.
Yep, Baron just spawned, and it's going to go bye-bye here in a second.
Getting a Baron 10 seconds after it spawns is kind of crazy, and Ball State is doing exactly that. I don't know, guys. Is there like a universe in which Akron comes back here? The engage is going to land.
In fact, it might just end right here.
Yeah, Mid Chicken will live to fight another day, but what can you do?
They're going to have to try. They know they have to contest Baron or the game just ends, but I think it might just end anyway.
Mid Chicken is...
Oh my god.
What?
That damage.
Yeah,
Full passive stacks.
Chumslog is unstoppable, is pretty low. That's a big shutdown if they can get a kill on the Chumslog.
I thought that Baron... Wait, he just had to cleanse that Baron knocked up. Oh, no, he doesn't have cleanse. Never mind.
Ball State members are kind of low here. Baron will still be secured, but Ball State is actually really low. They might have played this too long. That is a huge shutdown. That is a 1,000 gold, extra 1,000 gold that Trey Dog just got.
You just saw Rel last second 180s her Hex Flash to not go over the wall. Almost a mistake.
All right, well, you do lose 1,000 gold to the Gragas, who is going to use that and get a couple more items, but it's still very much Ball State favored, especially I feel like if you want that shutdown going anywhere, you want it going onto that Kaisa.
See, the Jarvan built Zeke's Convergence.
Oh. Huh. I guess it's for the slow when you use Cataclysm, but that's an interesting tech. I know we're talking about builds. Wombat Baby is 1v2ing and decidedly winning. Going to get a kill off screen. Silk Flannel will get a kill onto the Kaisa as well, and Llama Demon is forced to disengage. Charm does go wide. Trey Dog is going to flash in. Trey Dog gets another shutdown. That is another 1,000 gold shutdown for the Gragas.
But you know, I'm not worried about Gragas getting gold. I don't know. He's not a champion that really scares me that much, especially with how behind they are at the moment.
The only issue is if he's able to get on top of the Varus and shut him down.
And with that Shadow Flame, he actually might be able to do so because Varus is not building a lot of health, and Shadow Flame is going to be critically striking once you manage to... Oh, Kolka almost spotted that out. Another tower will go down.
9-30. They have a 30-kill game right now.
Yeah, that is absolutely wild. And Ball State has taken 7 towers, and we did get a lot of gold onto this Gragas,
Well,
but I don't think it's
Flash
enough.
in.
Yeah, the Flash ult is going to go in, but Chumslog is going to get engaged on in the back line. We do have the Zeke's Convergence. The ultimate has been cast by the Jarvan there. The heal will be coming out from the Ahri as well, and I thought Chumslog was not long for this world, but Chumslog is actually doing just fine, and Ball State is just going to end the game right
Stall,
now.
Ball State, stall. I need 24 minutes. I need to be right.
Oh no. Oh, Kolka taken quite low, actually. That Shadow Flame damage, not to be sneezed at, but it just doesn't matter. Chumslog doesn't even die to
30
that.
more seconds, Ball State. Don't do it.
No,
Don't do it.
they are done. They want to go enjoy their
close enough.
Saturday.
It's
And
within
that is
30
exactly
seconds.
what will be happening. Wow, that is such a shift from game 1.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, Ball State figures their opponents out, figures out what they want to pick in draft, and just capitalizes on it in their later games
They
every
really
time.
found a weakness with their jungler and exploited it to the maximum of their capability. That was crazy. A 3-level difference.
I mean, that's a stomp.
And yeah, there's no other way to put it. That was just incredible from the side of Ball State.
I mean, in the lightest way, a stomp is nice.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, we don't have to stress out about it at all. Ball State securing the #1 spot in the ESC, going to go straight to the semifinals.
And look at
A
that gold
4,000
difference.
gold difference between Vi and Jarvan.
But now Ball State wanting to win this upcoming tournament, so that they can go on to the next division that none of us have figured the name out of yet.
I just want to point out quickly before the screen disappears, Quokka, as the support rel, had more gold than both the mid laner and the jungler from Akron.
That is kind of insane. Like a lot more gold.
Yeah, it's not like a little bit. That's a significant amount too. That's a 1,000 gold.
I mean, I guess it's not every day that you see 27 assists. How many kills did Ball State have? 35?
Yeah, 35 kills.
Had 28 of that kill participation.
I believe we do have an interview coming up right here. It is. Oh. It is. All right, are we all good? Everyone, okay.
Just take your headphones off and move back that way.
All right. And this is the man himself, Wombat Baby. We're getting some bumper chairs over here. Okay. All right. Yeah, we are all good. This is Wombat Baby. Take it away, gentlemen. What's up?
All right. Got any questions?
Yeah, so first of all, congratulations on that game.
Thank you.
Congrats on taking first place in the NACE.
Back to back, 2 years in a row. ESC top seed.
I guess going into that second game, you had a great first game. They did fight back quite a bit more than I'd say was expected.
Yeah.
What were you thinking coming into the second draft? Like, what did you change up?
Oh, we didn't change any of our bans. I think they changed one of theirs to ban. They banned the Senna because after the first game, they're like, we're not playing against that again. But then they picked Karma again, so I can just pick R8 into it again because that lane is fine. I can fight for push, and like I'm more useful in team fights. And then we picked Varus. It's like we got 2 power picks in a row, and then it was just kind of just like we won draft from there. So not much change, just like still playing our staple picks and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. You guys have any questions?
I mean, to be honest, you stole the show.
You think so?
I don't really have any in-depth questions. I guess the only one I'd ask is, are you going to put all of the charms you got onto that Zeri in a highlight reel?
Was it a lot on Zeri? I didn't realize. I know
you got two decisive
there was one big
on
one.
Zeri.
Okay.
One around Drake Pit, another
yeah, I
one
remember the one around
the
Drake
top
Pit where I
side
went
jungle.
over like the Mountain Drake rock that spawns. Yeah, I remember that one. I don't remember the other one though, but yeah. Also, one thing that I did want to say, thanks to Akron for extending the game. They could have taken the forfeit win, so we appreciate them being able to extend the game and play. So same with Northeastern yesterday too. So
yeah,
we appreciate that a lot.
appreciate you guys rescheduling so that
thank you.
we can have an even game.
All right.
Yeah,
Anything
sorry.
else?
Sorry,
I mean,
those were some fast games.
Well, the first one, I don't know what the fast. I don't know how fast.
Yeah,
the
okay,
first one
maybe
it was like
fast.
45 minutes.
That
plus
one was
pause.
a little scary.
That one, yeah, we got. I mean, we were still really ahead. It was just like some little things, you know, like we got picked getting Vision or Baron, which like we got to get it, you know.
Yeah.
We just needed to reset a little bit better and go as a team rather than
Blitzcrank hook into the drag pit.
Yeah,
we
Blitzcrank
thought
hook,
the
that was a big
pause
one
was
too.
about that for a second.
Oh no, we just had an issue, so
Okay.
had to solve that. But yeah, it was just pretty clean overall. I mean, like first game was a lot longer than it needed to be for sure, but we're pretty happy with how we played today. So if we keep that going into playoffs, I don't think there's anyone that can stop us. So
Yeah.
I think I can speak for everyone, and we're happy you played well today.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all for us.
All right,
for
awesome.
today.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Wombat Baby.
Well, thank you all for joining us today.
Yeah, and I mean, you heard it from the man himself. If Ball State keeps playing like this, I don't think there really is anybody that can stand up to them in playoffs. They're such an adaptable team. They seem to have a really good idea of what they're doing each game. And yeah, this is the last regular game of the ESC.
Yeah.
And Ball
that's it.
State ends as the first seed. I can't think of any more poetic way to sign things off.
Thank you for joining us this season. I've been one of your casters, Robert Transfixed.
I've been Aiden, also known as Mnemonic.
And I've been Rory, aka Artom. You all have a good night.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Have a good night.